Ladies and gentlemen, long have we waited for another show match, and here we are with it. We've got Mixu and milkicow, StarCraft 2 players, ready to do battle for our entertainment. Hope you guys are having a good time today. I am also not flying solo this time around. I am joined by Nebline. Speaking of having a good day, is that you, Nebline? Are you having a good day? Hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. It's very interesting to see these players pop in here, and Mixu's already participated in one show match, so we can start our affairs by talking with him and seeing what he is up to. Because right over, you can't hear the melon man. Oh no! Hold on, can you say that again, Nebline?
Well, I feel like Nightfox should know I'm no melon man.
Okay. It's melon and then lemon. It's the same word, but with letters different, so it's not the same word. Anyway, we're here. We're here, boys. Mute Blime, indeed, that's correct. Hope you guys didn't miss much, but Nebline was just saying he can't call it a day because it's still dark out, and it's been a while since he's casted any StarCraft, including Cosmonarchy, and that he's looking forward to seeing these two pros in action. And I was saying, hell yeah, it is, because Mixu's already participated in a show match once upon a time. He went against Indy and was able to take 3 out of the 9 games, which left the rest of them 6 to Indy's side. Obviously, only a 1/3 win rate doesn't look too good, but he hadn't practiced much. He was a last-minute addition, and Indy had practiced a lot, at least versus AI, to get comps down. So that's pretty interesting that Mixu is still able to, with very short prep, in what many think is the hardest race to adapt to within Cosmonarchy, he was able to make things happen. So I dig that, and I think that's really cool. And I want to see a little bit more from him today. If that follows, now with a little bit more practice and prep, he should be able to take the lion's share of the games. But he's not the only pro in here. So before we switch over to our other one, what do you think of Mixu? Do you have any opinions or thoughts about him, Nebline?
Well, it's true what you say that even practicing against AI when you first trip gives you so much of an advantage. Because like we were sort of talking about before we went live, there's just so many buttons to press, man. So if you just go through it many times, you're looking good. And then, like you say, he has this play experience. I'm sure, he's very comfortable playing in tournament setting, obviously in StarCraft 2, but I think it still helps to have done that in Cosmonarchy. So I don't know that much about our other play. We'll get to that, but I can only assume that Mixu is going to be the huge favorite here.
It feels that way. We have seen favorites play to the exact, end result that we would expect, in the way that Hanmano practiced a lot versus Trigger and Yakov, and he just owned them, didn't drop a single map. Absolutely outrageous. And so we've seen that. And then we've also seen the favorites not do as well. Like when Zeke was up against first-timers Boneth and Ultra, and, Ultra was still able to take some games and ultimately ended up winning that group. But also Boneth was able to take a game off of Zeke, and he looked really good doing it. And so there's a lot of situations like that can come in to bite us a little bit. But then we also think about, just like the middle of the pack show matches, the ones that are the most competitive, those are the ones that we love the most, and maybe that's what we're in for. Because our next player, our second player of today's show match, is milkicow, a Russian Terran player. He is a young gun. You'll notice that all these guys are pretty young in the StarCraft 2 space. It reminds me of youth, it does. But he's already holding the trophy in his player card. He's looking pretty happy. He's obviously got some youth in him, and he's also a big fan of medics, and is what he's told me. So I did correct it to cleric for the sake of the game, but apparently he likes that idea. And, I don't know how much StarCraft 1 any of these guys have played. It does help you a little bit, Oh, I just realized that the music is way too loud. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Live production.
Well, I think that's good, because the players get to pump whatever they chose.
That's right. They did choose this. So this is milkicow's favorite right here. So, I wasn't sure about that. The title does include the word Suka. I'm pretty sure it's not exactly family friendly, but hey, it's a banger though. I did actually really like the song. So it's on the background.
Did I come here to tune into a family friendly event? Does the stream title say
it's
family friendly show match?
That's true. It does not. So you know what that means, boys. It means that it means that we need even more music like that in the future. However, with all that said, milkicow, obviously an accomplished player in StarCraft 2, one that I have been watching. Sort of, it was funny. He was one of the first names that I thought of when I was thinking of players to approach for a show match, because he's one that I have actually seen in a number of StarCraft 2 events, or even just ladder games from various people I happen to watch or catch on stream or something. So cool to have him in Cosmonarchy, that's for sure. A great pull for us, and happy to see him in action. And he has been practicing, so even though we don't know what he looks like as far as his game plan goes, even though we don't know quite what his playstyle will be here, I am expecting a lot of bio. So that's my take anyway. What do you think, Nebline?
A StarCraft 2 player coming and playing, should I put it in quotes, Terran in Cosmonarchy? Because, like, come on, it's not really the same thing. He's gonna be making, like, Mavericks and stimming them. Come on, there's no other way.
We have
or, like,
to.
sort of like,
yes.
like what we saw Hon Mono doing, at least. Like, you kind of just, like, spam out units from the stockade. If he's played a bunch of AI games, he might have made some stockades and be like, oh, what does this do? Like, maybe he made some savants. Who knows? But it's gonna be stockades, man. There ain't no way. Maybe, throws down the star pads and starts dropping stuff. We'll see. But I'd be impressed to see any major sort of like innovations from a first-time event player.
Yeah, I would be too. But hey, at the same time, they all like to mass expand. I've noticed in StarCraft 2, they like to go sometimes Ministry first. That's actually, I was talking earlier that milkicow had played a free-for-all that I caught a little bit of, and a lot of the StarCraft 2 guys like to expand before a production structure. I don't know if it'll work out, but if they both handshake on it, then we just get into a macro game, right? So who knows, guys? Who knows? Now, these guys are all playing for money. They got $10 to show up. They get $10 for every match win. So as we say goodbye momentarily to that wonderful little track there, we can talk a little bit about the format. It is a 9-game series. That doesn't mean first to 5 wins. It means we play out all 9 games. Each game is worth $10. So whoever wins is good to go in that respect. And it looks like our players are indeed just about ready to get started. We got the go-go from milkicow, so we'll wait on Mixu's. But yeah, Mixu picked the first map. He's got the favorite advantage. So he ended up selecting Demaloon, a port of Overwatch done by Jujic. All Class 1 maps are available. All StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 map ports are available. They got a big map list they can pick from. We will see what milkicow wants to do if he ends up dropping this. But if he wins it, then Mixu just picks the next map, because it's loser picks the map that we play on next. So a little bit of a home field advantage there for that guy. So everybody is ready. Are you ready, Nebline?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm more than ready.
Let's do it. We are going into the first match of Showmatch number 7. The first map of it will be on Demaloon. And we have in the top left our blue Zerg of Mixu. And in the bottom right, milkicow seems to be our saddle brown Terran.
Well, I would say it's like, oh, it's a comfy map, but probably not for StarCraft 2 players. Think about what you were saying about expanding, right? These StarCraft 2 players have to expand, like, immediately, because they're going to be mined out in, like, 3 minutes, Like, the panic sets in.
Yes, of course. The rate of play is pretty high, pretty ridiculous. So that is something that I think of a lot is, they are going to look for those fast expos. Oh, Mixu was thinking about it, but no, he will be going pool first, and it's fairly early. Usually what we see is like some gas mining, a Kagrant will go down, our creep colony equivalent. milkicow getting his APM up there by checking all of his camera hotkeys, which I don't actually think increase your APM in Cosmonarchy. That's something we forgot to track for key presses. I'm not entirely sure about that.
Or, we like deliberately did not.
No. I think it's an action in a way, right? It's like, it's not in the sense that you can move your mouse to change your camera view, and that's not tracked as an action, but it is a key press. So there's something about it that feels a little bit more deliberate. So philosophically, I would say it's an action, but we will see. We will see. Double stockade for milkicow, though. What do you make of this?
Yeah, well, forget these fast expansions. I was going to say, the pool timing is sort of like, well, it's fine, but I don't know if Mixu rather necessarily knows what it means, because it's sort of a meta thing to sort of rush some quaz units. Whereas, really, I think the middle of the road builders get his Larbost immediately, but it might serve him well, because this is quite aggressive from milkicow.
Ooh.
I mean, I feel vindicated. I was saying it's going to make some stockades. Is he just going to charge in with the Mavericks? And look, I think he's saying for a Vestry here. Just we have the intel. He said his favorite unit was Cleric. So I'm pretty sure he's going to come with the Maverick Cleric, and this is kind of old school for Cosmonarchy, yeah.
It is, yeah. Just look at this. One Mason on gas only. That's all.
Yeah, don't need that much for a vestry. Oh, the Huracan first. Okay, interesting. I've expressed my views on this before. I don't think it's necessarily how you want to do it, but he's not coming across immediately. And to be honest, with this super fast pool, he wouldn't have done anything there. I just hope Mixu knows about Quasilis, because he's going to need him. Oh, we got a pause.
We do indeed have a pause.
Oh, it is lagging. Shall I dip?
Yeah. I was just about to do that, actually. I popped in. I popped the stream on for you, so in case that, because it does look like it's like this is Finland, Russia, America, and Australia. So that's.
I gotta get in the mix, just to make it exciting. Oh, it looks way better. But I was gonna say they came at a good time because the networking has improved so much with this sort of December update. It's actually amazing how well it works now.
That's right.
Different locations. Okay, he gets the scout. I assume he saw the 3 stockades. He's going to be astute enough to see what's going on. But he does have a Hatcheros down at the low ground. I think that's just a clear mistake, to be honest. Like, if Mixu's coming to me after this game, assuming milkicow just smashed him, saying, what should I have done? I would say just stay one base. You don't need to expand that fast. Like, it's very deceptive, especially as Zerg from StarCraft 2. You can expand behind the Terran just fine, and obviously it's not preferred, but you can just rapidly go up in workers. And I always say it's my preferred way to play is you just get established very well on one basis. So he's gonna have a hard time holding this Hatcheros. It's gonna be dicey, but it is a very Huracan focused composition, so sort of exploitable if you can sort of kite back with the Quas maybe. And it's gonna take a little while to get here. I don't know. I'd rather see more Mavs than just a couple of Huracans as token tanks. But we'll see how this goes. The Quas are on the way.
Yeah, they are indeed. And it looks like Mixu's going to get down and dirty with the Kagrints here. Should have a double Circuit starting to morph in time. His Zeth comes back around. I love that it's been dogging this army. And actually, we'll even resume in here. He'll have a mini flank of one Zeth. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it might trip up the unit AI. Maybe not. He's actually going to park it over at 9 o'clock. And he needs to defend the Kagrints if he can. The Huracans are going to put up some good damage. Now the Quas are going to dive back. That first Circuit should be an easy picks here. But you were right. Only one Maverick. How is he possibly going to do anything over here?
Yeah, and consider the cost and build time, right? It would be more like 6 Mavericks than the 4 Huracans. You get 1 Huracan in the front, 6 Mavericks. That's much more deadly force. But I think with the number of Quas made, there wasn't really anything you could do anyway. It's good pressure so far. He's got his own expansion down. Does need to be careful here. Ooh, a Cyprian here.
I like that. I think that's going to work out really well. Okay, clerics are here. Those boost armor by 2 to whatever they're channeling on. So these Huracans are barely going to get scratched by the Quas until some Vorvs come in or until they pick apart the clerics themselves. That unit of his that is his favorite, seeming to pay dividends. Now look at this. Love it. Mixu knows he's got static defense. He's also got a Hydra Thin on the way, which will take a little bit to actuate. It's about a minute of build time there. Now the Bio Army comes in. He can kind of crunch it with reinforcements. He's already got this army split off towards 12, and he can sort of push it away. His reinforcements still keeping milkicow at bay, and now the rest of the Quas are going to be moving in for a counterattack, which seems very, very good here. There's nothing back at home for Milky.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to crush through here. I mean, it sort of looks like milkicow can break through those circuits, but then what? He's not really going to be able to kill him. Whereas Mixu has a considerable kill threat here. Is there anything on the ramp? I think he's just going to walk up in there and kill everything.
Yeah, this has been a huge flank and immediately collapses the formation. I love the idea from what milkicow was doing. Cleric Cyprian to slowly range it down, poking those circuits like they're Dracodons with shields, but there's nothing at home for him to defend. It'll be a desperate move. Maybe he can drill on to the resources inside his natural, but the Quas will eat his workers for dinner.
Yeah,
it is dinner time in Russia.
Get in there. Yeah, that's right. Well, remember when I was like, does he know about Quasilis? Oh my lord, he knows about Quasilis. He knows a lot. Alright, the army does come back, so maybe I'll stay alive here, technically. But his prospects have dropped sharply. I can see another wave coming across the map already. How much damage is he going to do? The Huracans do great against Quad. But he knows he's taking too much damage. That's going to be GG.
GG indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, the first Showmatch match goes the way of Mixu, and that means that Sir milkicow will have map pick for our second round. I liked the idea. I thought there was a lot of merit to it, actually. Tell me what you think, because I was seeing the vision. Clerics repairing the Cyprians as they were trying to range things down.
Yeah, I think there was some really nice micro for a second there. It was like dancing the Huracans back and forth. But then what's behind it? Shooting, right? It really needs to up that Maverick count. Honestly, just 2 Huracans the whole game would have been fine. Especially with the Clerics healing them, if he can sort of micro that. Someone show this man Protoss, because I'd love to see him coming with the Zealot Ecclesiast and just dancing the Zealots back and forth. That's kind of what he was trying to do. But yeah, a lot of Maverick spam, and you can fight those Quasilisks. It doesn't feel good because you're sort of just trading and your Mavericks die so fast, but that's how you got to do it, I reckon.
I reckon as well, yeah. And now with milkicow selecting Tsunami, it is, of course, a port of Oceanborn. And we will have another TVZ on our hands. This is a StarCraft 2 map port done by Jujic. It was actually originally there for one of the original StarCraft 2 show matches with Hanmano, Trigger, and Yakov. It was Hanmano's favorite map of all time in StarCraft 2. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get back into it. And I'm really excited to see where this one goes for us because, in my opinion, this is a map that doesn't get that much airtime. It doesn't get that much play time, but it's very cinematic for me. You get that little color tint, which maybe the players don't like as much, but hey, I dig it. That might end up being a config thing at some point, sort of like high graphic settings or whatever. But in the bottom right, Sir Mixu, fresh off his first map win, which I will update the overlay for in a moment here, is going to be in the bottom right as our... Ooh, the color tints actually make it pretty difficult. I'm going to say mahogany, but it was chestnut. And
what are you doing out here?
Yeah. milkicow in the top left, the blue Terran. We got blue 2 games in a row, but this time milkicow's blue. Does that mean he wins?
Maybe. Cows are not usually blue, although there's a place in Australia called Blue Cow, so...
Look at that. That's interesting.
It's like a mountain. Anyway, Ree? What? Ree, we just got started. Oh,
interesting.
Is this a bug we've seen before?
No, but you can just hit the stop key and it unsticks.
Yeah, it's a Brood War thing. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't even thinking about that because I assumed he knew that, so I'm like, oh, what's wrong with it that he can't just, get it out of there? Fascinating.
Yeah, very funny. Pranked, absolutely stupendously pranked. But that's all right. That's all right, boys. We will be getting right back into
it. Yeah, well, he hasn't done anything particularly yet, so that's fine. Night Fox in the chat, by the way, pointing out that Cyprians are probably a severe mistake last game. Because they do sap that mobility from the army. They're okay against those Cos units, especially if the numbers get high. But yeah, they were sort of just stuck in the contain area when he just sort of went around him. So I agree with Night Fox that I can't see them as anything else than like a burden on Milky's composition here. I hope there's more plans than just like the Mavs and Clerics coming out.
We'll have to see. And of course, Mixu condemns us to a game.
Redemption.
Redemption
for Panogo.
Redemption. But is it really redemption? Because Mixu is blue, Zerg, bottom right. milkicow is Delft blue, dark sapphire in the top left.
It's never Delft blue.
It really isn't ever Delft blue, to be honest. Like, even if you color pick Delft blue, you probably don't get it at this point. I've never seen it. No. Now, this is a very fast stockade from Milky up in the top left. Whereas Mixu, he is going to be building up towards that pool again, you can tell. And he just wants to stick to the same strategy. But will Milky be doing something even more aggressive than last time? Bearing in mind this is a StarCraft 2 map port, I don't know what Oceanborn has in store for us here, but this map version of it is called Tsunami, done by Jujic, and very similar layout. We have the sort of, instead of destructible rocks, we have destructible monuments of sin. Now, these two in the middle here that are just singles, they don't block the whole ramp. They're only there to block part of it. And then, obviously, honestly, these ones block up.
I hate going up the partial block one even more. I'm like, that's like nightmare inducing.
Yes, in StarCraft 1 pathing, it is indeed. It is indeed.
I like milkicow's build in the abstract. I like getting 2 stockades still going out. Let's see if he goes for the third one again. I would rather see him pressure on 2 and have more play going into the expansion. Or, I guess if he gets 3, just do it better. Like, just play better, for God's sake. But we'll see. I would like to see 2. And this is Arakan first again. Like I said, I hope he has more strategies planned. Because it's going to be difficult, right? When you don't know the mod very well to, like, just come up with something, right?
That's right.
So he probably only has what he's prepared. And I think he's in trouble if he's going to play the same every game. Because it seems like Mixu just knew how to handle it pretty easily.
It is, yeah. It's really interesting because I thought maybe that would blindside him. And Zerg is a race that in Cosmonarchy...
more energy.
Oh, shit!
Towards the Showmatch.
Vidibee just jump scared me with an Escozi unit response because he donated $100 towards the show match. Son, that just puts us even closer. By the way, I haven't even told you guys why the show match number 8 funding is so big, but let me just tell you that we have 9 pro players lined up for that one. So it's going to be a banger, and that'll be on the 24th of January. So, and the 25th.
Hey, does that mean we just reached the target for the next show match?
We are $90 away. So there you go.
Oh, okay. Well, still, wow.
Yeah, that's really close, though. That's pretty close. Thank you, be? He also just sent in a fat $150 personal donut, so he's just bankroll. He's having a good day. He's having a good day. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mixu's about to have a bad one. Harakans are starting to heckle him.
Harakans are just walking past the quads like, not my problem.
That's right.
All right, there we go. They're going to engage now, but yeah, I can't see how Mixu falls here. I don't know about this. This is probably not a good idea unless he bypasses them. Oh, if he ran on top of them, it would have been really bad for Zerg, but as it is, he gets a few shots off.
That's right.
Sort of a neat little tactical move there. He's going to push this back.
I'm a little bit worried about the fact that the Harakans are like so bruised up already. We do not have a Vestry this time around. It is a 2-stockade into Ministry, which was scouted by the Zeth. So as we see the anchor be put down here, you can tell that the Terran is on the defensive. Now, Mixu is already playing a little bit differently than he did in the previous round. So a couple Cyprians out here. No Harakan frontline. That's really, really bad for the Terran. He does need to sort of resituate himself. If the Harakans can throw themselves in front, just like that, you can make the Cyprians do magical things versus pool units. But as I try to catch my breath here, I want to point out, last game, Mixu kept parity with workers and expanded somewhat greedily or perhaps vulnerably versus the triple stockade early game, and barely ended up making the hold happen, mostly because there weren't that many Mavericks in the army. We sort of talked about that before. Oh, Mixu is discovering StarCraft 1 pathing. But the other thing that's worth pointing out is that this game, he's at 10 workers. He is very committed here. And if he's not able to bust the, Terran base that's already been set up, 2 Cyprians can fit in the anchor. This is a really hard angle for him to try to clear. But he has a lot of units. Maybe he can make it happen.
That is an unpleasant angle to move units into, but it is rather wide. Look, I wonder, obviously Mixu does not know about repair. Oh, sorry, milkicow. Oh, here we go. He's going to go in, but he's a bit premature. I think there's what Milkicow needs, but he's advancing from the anchor for no real reason. I guess because he knows he doesn't need it. He's going to burn for all those cores so fast. Is the trade in Zerg's benefit here?
Well, I mean, if the worker count was a little bit closer, I would actually say Mixu's fine to throw away his army. But he only has his army, and he's got a lot of it as well. But he is going to break away, scouts the anchor, which was not scouted by his Zeth. That was put down afterwards. And a 4th stockade coming. There's a lot here for Milky, and it's all in the bio production. But back at home, Izira cores maybe are in our future because Mixu does have a lot of resources with which to eventually tech up, and I feel like that would be a fine choice to try to run past the Harakans, maybe just go straight into Bactals. He is expanding. Right now he's limited on what he can actually pick. He went for the Vornath but hasn't made any Vorvs yet.
Yeah, I don't know if Izira cores would be the best here, because don't Cyprians penetrate them still?
No, you have to have the Harakan rend the armor first.
Oh, they don't? Oh, okay, alright. Well, yeah, maybe, but I mean, does he know about Izira cores? We know he knows about Cosmos.
That's true.
I feel like Milkicow is not ready for like 3 Izira cores, just run into his mineral line, they'll probably win the game, but nonetheless, here we go. He's got the Vornath, right? Did he make any Vorpal cores yet? I did not see any.
No. As far as I can tell, it's all basic units, but he is making Ovoleths, and he might be thinking about maybe a cheeky little drop move into the main base.
Yeah, but I wonder if you could drop one Vorf and a bunch of Zeph and just go after the add-on, be kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know what you're doing with Vornath here, to be honest, because Vorf, of course, don't really seem to be that important. And Naf's obviously going to get slaughtered by the Cyprians. A couple Nafs to like harass is never terrible, I suppose. Alright, maybe you're right. Maybe he does know about Styricors. He's going to throw down that Hydra. But you're going to need more economy for that. This is what I'm saying. You can shoot up in workers if Milkicow stays back, which he does seem a bit intimidated. Zerg will always be able to catch up. But the 3rd Ministry is on the way. But what is his plan beyond stockades? That's what I want to know. Shaman's coming out. Interesting turn of events. It's going to be good for those Cyprian stack, not so good for the Harakans getting in there. Okay, double drop. This is fine. This is an aggressive move, but I feel like you're not going to accomplish anything meaningful without a distraction at the front. It just takes too long to kill anything important, and Terran can easily respond. That said, the Vestry, I guess, would be okay. Is that Vestry still attached?
It is, yes, it is.
Oh, okay. It looks kind of weird. I'm like, is it in the wrong spot? I don't know why it lifted.
Epic.
Epic indeed. 3 Crow sends us $5 towards that Showmatch funding. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate you. A little bit closer. Yeah, I gotta say, with the double drop kind of waiting for a flank, we have the Zerg kind of baiting out the Terran army, just watching for when that happens. And now, this should be the go signal. Indeed, the Ovoleth's immediately springing into action. And you're right, the Vestry is a prime target here, as well as the Sieve. Both of those can be pretty devastating. Is he just going to go after the workers? The reaction time of Milky should be just fine here. He's already going to be able to pull his workers if he wants to, and immediately recovers. He pulls all the way back. So now it's just a targeting of infrastructure. The Sieve goes down. Now a couple of bio units pop out. Oh man, that's brutal. That is brutal.
The perfect choke there.
Wow. All right, now, Blime, you just multitasking galore. Send us in a $1.03 on the dono.
That's the official amount. Let's call it that.
A $1.03, yeah, 103 right
well,
there.
I wanted to say something. Customers, I paid my way. All right, so
yes.
I'm going to speak now.
Yes,
I think that drop was actually not bad because he just lost a bunch of quads units, which was very cheap, and the distraction sort of made itself because milkicow moved down a bit. So yeah, okay, I don't mind it after all, but he does need to catch up on the milkicow. But all right, fine. Talk about the donation. I've said my piece.
There it is. There it is. Well, there's Hydras on the way, and a nice little scoop of those units means that he can once again threaten in the main. This distraction is tying Milky up so much. He's got a lot of other units ready to go, and look at that. He preempted the drop this time around. The one with only 2 Zets are going to go down. Yeah, both Ovulettes going down because there's pressure at the front with the Shaman, and this is brilliant. The fact that he's already got some units across the map, he didn't take his whole army back, or at some point resent these over. And look at that, the Cyprians penetrating the Hydras. That's so brutal to try to deal with them. You need those Izira cores, and in fact, Nablime, Mixu does not know about Izira cores.
Well, I look at this, and he keeps moving them in a ball, like a StarCraft 2 roach ball. He means like the brood board with the fast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's just getting splashed so badly.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think he's going to break free. Man, he does it's meaningless. What a massacre here.
GG.
GG.
There was no way to beat that with just pure Hydra. You needed a much wider flank if you were going to piece them up like that. But let's be honest now, Blind. That was a case of the macro working in favor of Milky. He showed up his chops. He got up to, I think, 65 workers by the end of that, despite all of the harassing and the slowdowns there. And that's another $10. Now this time going over towards our Russian Terran. It does mean that we're in a really strong situation for this opening round. Tit for tat, and milkicow has taken that game. So we will wait for the map pick of Mixu. But it turns out that low eco idea, that staying on 10 workers for a really long time, whew, that is a challenge to make work, apparently.
Yeah, I think maybe to some extent Mixu did it to himself, going for this super aggro. When he's expanding last game worked out just fine. Maybe he's sort of a bit sweating about defending with those circuits. But yeah, I think he definitely was caught off guard by like the Cyprian stack. I don't know if he's sort of dealt with that before. But you need to engage in a certain way, and in Brood War is very different how you do it in StarCraft 2.
I can't believe it, but this is another show match where we're going to Valhalla Valley, port of Ride of the Valkyries. What a map.
It's only ever had like one good game on it in Brood War.
Well, it had one good game on it in a show match. It was Wolfix versus Oya, and it was showcasing Eidolon play. It was really good, actually.
Who the hell was it in Brood War? Was it Bisu versus Stork, or... I feel like it was Bisu versus someone, but I'm really not sure about that. But
PvP?
That was a sort of epic PvP game, yeah.
Oh.
And that's the only good game this map ever produced.
Well, there you go. God. We already have a better batting average then, because there's only been like 5 games played on it, and one of them was really good. So.
Yeah, who knows?
I hope milkicow takes one look at the map preview, and he's like...
One obscure game, like I Love It vs. Cal or some ancient players, you know?
Right. Or it was like, you know, the 6 dragons took turns on it.
The next one.
Alrighty. Looks like our players are ready to get rolling here, so I am ready to bring you to Game 3 of this show match. We've already beaten our goal for the next show match. Very much appreciate the big money donors, and also 3Crow. What a guy he was. So... in the bottom,
not a mean way to say it.
Yeah, he gives big money in other ways. He's already big money, so he didn't need to prove himself. But
the big money donors and 3Crow.
Yeah, it was good. So I technically 3Crow and Godwheat and Shambler as well, I believe, donated towards the show match to get us to the goal point that we were already at of 200. But we got crossed the finish line, crossed that Rubicon. Thanks to all y'all. So I do appreciate it. And I appreciate that Mixu is sticking with blue somehow. He is the blue Zerg in the bottom right. That's the real reason he remade that last game. milkicow stole his blue. Over here in the bottom left, he is our Tyrian purple Terran. And this will be an interesting matchup. This is a map that is split along the left to right symmetrical axis. So that would be an X-axis split. We have an expansion over here, natural. There's these neutral resources you can harvest to deplete. And that gives you access to this lower gas base over here for your third. And there's an island base in the middle that I don't think anybody will ever take, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. And Mixu is going Hydrith first here. He's already decided to see if he can mix it up. I actually don't think this is him abandoning pool. I think it's just him saying, okay, if I'm going to be aggro in the early game, I probably need some different units versus the bio that Milky keeps going, but Milky is going Ministry first. Oh, on this map, I guess it's a good way to get it over with fast.
Yeah, if, like we were saying, 3 Zero Cores kind of just come across the map, although he's getting that gas. So I guess it's going to be Hydras. I don't know, man. Is it even possible to hold this at this very moment, assuming he does come across immediately with units? I guess the gas was for the Lavos.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. Even like 2 Azuricores showing up, what are you going to do against that?
I think he's going to do Ministry Stockade Anchor. I think that's what he's planning on doing here.
I mean,
or it's a second...
a fine defense, but is it going to come in time?
Second Stockade, yeah. So
I prefer this.
This is a little bit awkward because it is... he knows about Iziricors Nablime. Hold me, because we're about to watch the destruction of a man unless Milky can do something absolutely stupendous. I feel like he needs to somehow pre-make a lodestone here before the Ministry is even done. He needed a bong cloud to this location and lodestone it up. That's the only way that he could have maybe survived.
If he did, those Azuricores are running right past. Well, at least I hope they do. If Mixu really knows about Azuricores, he's not going to bother fighting an anchor, you know.
That's right.
I mean, okay, it looks like some maps could be out. If he makes Hurricanes first, God help him. Not going to get anything done here. Okay.
All right. In his defense, if he gets the Huracan out and 2 Mavs after, he can deal with like 2 Iziricors.
One Huracan, yes, but if it's all Huracans, the Azuricors are going to run rings around him.
That's true.
You know, I think he's getting more ready than I thought he would by this time. I thought he'd sort of only just be producing his first units. Okay, the Azuricors are not sure. Why are they turning back? They need to get in there.
He's waiting. He's got more.
This is a mistake. Clear mistake not to just go in with the 2, because there's no units.
Well, he doesn't know that, Navlime. He doesn't have a map hack on. He's going for it, though.
Those buildings? Okay, here we go. Now he knows.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty happy about this. Well, the Masons are also body blocking, and most importantly, they're adding some damage, interestingly enough. The Armor Rend allows them to deal full damage. Typically, they get reduced by 1 from the Iziricor. We still only have Huracan Cyprian being made. That's not going to... I mean, listen, they go really well together. But surely you need something like Mavs. He just doesn't want to make them. So he's disrupted. He's already lost 5 Masons at the natural. He's got 2 not mining over here. Oh my god.
It's camped right now. He has to lift it, I think, because I don't see him come. Okay, he's going to try and come down here. Another Cyprian pops out. You know, this setup was better than I thought because he was able to engage in that like narrow area, the mineral line. And even though he sacrificed a bunch of Mavs, he does have a ministry already. Masons. He does have a ministry already. So he's actually still ahead here. If Mixu was able to break through with the main mineral line, it would have been disastrous. But he really had no way to get in without engaging. And yeah, I think Mixu was like... you know, feeling good about it, but milkicow was prepared to sacrifice a bunch of Masons.
It is, yeah, it's definitely the case. And Mixu's still on that 10 droll count. He has hatches done in the natural, but he's only making Hydras right now. No economy being developed, nothing further. The anchor is done, and we will only have basically 2 proper angles for the Aziricors to hit. They can go through this 2 stockades at the top, and then they can go through the mineral line.
Brood War nightmare of like 2 possible paths. That's a disaster.
Well, how about this?
This is cute. Just have to lift it back.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sips can ward that off.
They can and they will. Yeah, you can't quite range them down, but oh, baby! Oh, does he know about Iziricors, Nablime? The drop rolling in.
Who hurt him? Who taught him this? Is he going to come in the front?
Oh my god, it's a flank on all sides?
Yes. Okay, he does push them back though. Milkicow obviously on the ball about that, but he's going to kill quite a few more. Oh, what a disaster for Terran.
I can't believe it, dude. That is such a critical moment there. Mixu now ahead in workers. Terran still has the ability to come back. Iziricors barely do any damage to structures, but he wasn't mining for most of that time, and his stockades are under duress. One of them still lifted from the earlier harassment. Everything up in flames here for milkicow.
Yeah, Mixu is tearing him apart right now. Although you don't want to engage the stack, with a couple of Aziricors maybe, but he does ward them off. But still in the main, I mean, you know, eventually that ministry's going to die.
Yeah, it's almost taken 300 damage now. That's a lot.
Yeah, from Aziricors. 7 draw of hatching at home, by the way, so Mixu is just pulling away ahead here. He does have his expansion up. And honestly, already being in Hydra is huge. Oh, is the range enough? Does he know about high ground? Well... He doesn't need it. He
doesn't need it, and there's nothing here. There's just a couple Hurricans that milkicow just now discovered were there. Some Mavericks are being made. They're going to try to fight. They need to get out of the way so the Hurricans can run the armor.
Okay, we'll clean this up, I think. Oh, well, he's chasing. Is he going to get him?
He's a body block. Yeah. Man, this is so difficult. He can't mine. Oh. He just can't harvest resources right now.
Yeah.
Oh, scoops up the last guy. More economic disruption, but no actual worker kills. And it looks like the obelisk should be dead to rights.
Somehow he's still on 20 workers here. I don't really understand how, but okay.
StarCraft 2 macro, man.
You can't just leave that there, milkicow. It's still got dudes in it. Oh my god.
Okay. I guess all right. All right. He's fine. He has 2 stim mavs. He discovered the Maverick. It's all good.
Neblime is too quiet, says Alex. You know what? I agree. Let's turn Neblime up.
That's true. You know, he did donate. He should be turned up, even though he's really loud for me.
You'll have to suffer. Sorry.
That's all right. Alexander and anybody else can tell me about the quietude of Neblime now, as I've cranked his volume.
Well, I hope it's not just Alex in chat. I hope other people agree with that, because I don't want to just be like, you know...
It would be really funny if it was the only one who had anything to say about it, yeah. So it looks like Mixu was trying to autopilot expand over there, and you know what StarCraft 1 Pathing thinks about that. He's going to need to either deplete that or go around the corner, dude.
Look, man, I don't care what you say. I think these mineral walls are kind of a disaster, and I hate that you put them in.
Hey, I just ported the map. I didn't make the original design.
Okay, to be fair, though, it means something totally different in Brood War. Don't play coy here. You know what you did.
What do you mean?
You know, in Brood War, you just mine it out and it's gone. Whereas here, it's going to be here forever.
Yeah, but you deplete them and then you can walk through them.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing.
Why not?
It's just not. That's all I can say.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter much because milkicow is sending it full send across the map right now. Nothing for Mixu to do other than fight with the army. He has no drops prepared, no other ovolets, and he does initially take a bit of an awkward walk in, allowing the Cyprians to get good surface area. He got so far ahead early. He's got so many Hydras, and he's got a reasonable economy to be on par with milkicow. But the Terran has fought back.
Oh, it's just a regen. Yeah, I don't think he has enough, though. Although if he does, he can't flee. He does need to just trade here. Because the Cyprian's too slow this time.
Oh, yeah.
And these Zephs are going to do work. Just distracting shots. They missed as well. How did they miss?
GG. There is no hope for Milky there. And Mixu takes game 3. They really just keep going back and forth. Milky will be able to select our next map, and that, my friends, is $30 to Mixu now. Another 10 on the board for him.
That was nicely done by Mixu. He knew what he was about, tearing him apart there. Can we get a score update? That makes it 2-1 Mixu, I
Indeed
believe.
It does. Indeed it does. Yeah, I should be updating the Twitch channel, but, you know, that's a lot of buttons to push.
Yeah, I know how it is. Well, I think the prospects are still okay for milkicow. Honestly, depending how Mixu is about in the later game, he might have been able to come back there. Look, if it's an experienced Cosmonarchy player and Zerg is up like 5 or 6 workers, like I think it's kind of over. Unless obviously your army's like about to kill him, which obviously wasn't the case. But we don't know how Mixu's going to go scaling into the like late game and what he's up against. I feel like milkicow could have continued to play if he hadn't moved out and lost his army. But of course he didn't know what he might be able to do or not. And you don't want to underestimate the power of a lot of Cyprians stacked in one place. You know, who knows? Maybe if we don't double the Cyprians, Mixu's going to repeat the mistake of sort of going around this blob and just getting splashed to hell. And like he was already banking like a lot of minerals. I don't think he really knew what he's making beyond the basic units, but we'll see. Every time I'm wondering, does he know about this? He's proven that he does. So maybe I should give Mixu more credit here.
Indeed, indeed. And it leaves us 1/3 of the way through this show match, if you can believe it. We are already on track. Yeah. A pretty fast start. We're only 40 minutes or so into the broadcast, and we did start a few minutes early just to be on time. So, fact of the matter is, this is going pretty quick. So before you know it, it'll be over, and that's why it's really wonderful that we already have our show match funding goals for the bonanza that is planned at the end of the month. I will shade in a few details about that now while we wait for Mixu to pop into our next lobby. And I just want to point out that while some of these names may chop and change, you can find the latest information on the Liquipedia page for the next show match, which I will go ahead and link in the chat. We have on day 1. Day 1 is going to be Protoss that has yet to be announced versus milkicow right here as our Terran player, and our Zerg player will be Young Yakov. That's the first show match. The second show match later in the same day, DeWalt, Han Mono, and Zeke are Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. And then for day 2, we have the StarCraft 2 players Gerald, Spirit, and Mixu as Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. So if any of those names sound familiar, you'll want to check us out soon. And by soon, I mean in 2 weeks.
That's pretty soon.
That's
not far at all.
That's right. That's right. You know, let's take a look at it right now because it does feel like we are on the precipice of some pretty epic stuff. This is game 4. milkicow in the far right here, the 3 o'clock of Knife's Edge, his map pick after that loss on Valhalla Valley. He is our dark green Terran, and around the 6-7 o'clock-ish area is Mixu, the blue Zerg.
Now, I can't help but compare this map to Gladiator, but the original Brood War version did come before Gladiator, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it's kind of weird. So Gladiator was the 4-spawn version, and Dominator is the 3-spawn version, and Purifier is not a unit in StarCraft or Cosmonarchy.
Oh, yeah, what? Why?
God.
Yes, it is. But I always think Gladiator because it's less
It was definitely there for a while. It was like the longer lasting one. Dominator is new school. And look at this. What is Milky doing? Is he hiding a stockade?
Interesting. He did have success that other game when he sort of had that 3 stockades. So maybe he wants Mixu to come in, not realize he's under this much pressure. Lavos first this time. So deviation at last. Well, I guess last game was a pretty big deviation. What am I saying? But he's not going for a tech structure first. Going production structure first. So we'll see what it's do here. I assume it's going to be a pool. If he does make a den first, maybe I should be a bit worried because it takes a long time to get that operational.
It does, yeah, it does. The pool is a bit faster acting, and the units that you make from it are cheaper, more numerous, and build faster. So there's many reasons why, many degrees of faster actuation for the pool. He is still getting some Vespene, but it looks like it's Larvosk Hatch. Wow!
Oh, okay.
So I like this because Mixu just kind of conditioned his opponent by saying, I'm going to rush you down, and rush down versus Milky doing a very risky strategy. Now we're on a 3-spawn map where you need to scout to find your opponent's location, and Mixu is doing the ultimate greed.
Yeah, I would have preferred double Lavos, to be honest. Like we talked about, it's just like preferred way to play, because the way I see it, you're just needlessly putting this out here to get like proxied or who knows what. When you could just kind of be building up the drone count in your base. It's going to be hard for Terran to keep up. As is, I mean, I don't think he's going to get punished for this. milkicow is thinking about, making these stockades and doing something, but he doesn't really seem prepared to come across, and he's 3-player, but he's going to scout him first. Let's see what his response is. He's already got the 2 stockades. He's saving up for a ministry.
Oh my god.
I think he's...
Hydrith, not pool. So this is only halfway done, and the Huracan's already knocking on the front door. Oh, he actually pulls away. No, Mixu did not see that. Mixu did not see the Huracan. So there's no awareness, and now Milky can draw back and see what he wants to do. Now, we haven't seen a Fulcrum or a Star Pad from him yet. We've only seen Stockade play. He is going to get ready for an expansion. It looks like that's his preferred method. And now the Droleth will be moving in the direction of Milky, so they will be both scouting each other first.
Yeah, I wonder what you do as Terran here, right? He's going to throw in the expansion. And it seems like you can probably play from here, but it does feel very disadvantaged. All this poor Droleth. Oh, run.
You know what I really love is that game 1, Milky does 4 Huracan, 1 Mav. Now all the way up here, his adaptation... 4 Huracan, 1 Cyprian.
He's upgraded.
he's evolving. It's not a strategy we see very often.
Get the love they deserve, man.
I know. So a lot of Iziricors on the way yet again. Mixu likes how that last game went. Now they are going to be dealing with the enemies knocking on the door as they spawn. There's some room for potential damage here. Huracans should kind of just ignore the Iziricors because it takes so long for them to die.
Yeah.
And instead they should be going after the worker line. But they are going to put some damage down. Look at that. That's great. Right at the last second they're killing the Circuith. We got more Izzies coming. We also have more Hydras. But yeah, finally, it looks like Milky's aware. He needs to just task on to those Droleths, cause some flummoxing of the mineral line, and in the process a lot of these Iziricors are eventually going to find some value, but the Huracans are going down. It looks like, did any workers even die? 1 Droleth died at the end of that.
Just 1, I think, yeah.
That's it.
He didn't really target them with Huracans, unfortunately, and they got disrupted by that little drill. I don't even really call it a drill, but the workers, blocked them. Yeah. So ultimately, I don't think that's very good for milkicow at all, because now he's reset his army, that Cyprian count. I guess he only lost 1 actual Cyprian, but all that other stuff. And he's trying to come across again. This might just end the game if he doesn't turn around, because those Hydra units will just eat that and then come across and kill him. I'm not sure what he's thinking with these extra units, man. He saw how much Mixu already had. Okay, he has turned around. No anchor here. A couple more Huracans coming out. I don't know if he's going to be prepared for this clapback, man. Maybe he was on the high ground with the Cyprians. You never know.
Here's a problem, right? Because really what we're seeing out of this situation for Milky is he's really committed to this bio. One thing that trounces Bio is the Bactylisk play. If you have a lot of Izira cores and you've got Bactyls, the bounces make it absolutely untenable. Shamans are still good, but they are not the answer that they once were, and you don't even have the Vestry right now if you're Milky. Instead, the Izira core scouting over here. This is prime drop material. The Droleth is here maybe to try to take that mineral only, but it will be interrupted by Milky's aggression. This is a little bit wanton, isn't it? Like, it's kind of chaotic. Right now, Milky doesn't yet know that he's very under strength compared to his opponent, and it looks like the Izira cores are going to repay the little bit of payback for what happened to Mixu earlier. And look, the Ovolith is here to scoop him up after. I've never seen this before, Nephilim. The units dropped themselves.
Oh, he's going to get absolutely splattered, though. Oh, no, he does get out, and now he can still threaten again. Milkicow just can't mine, man.
Oh, well, how about that? Mind. Yeah, never mind. JK, I always mind. Mixu.
Where are the lobotomy mines?
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think if you know your opponent's going to open Hydra, would you rather have gone Fulcrum or Stockade?
I think you still want like a couple Stockades in the early game just for the flexibility it offers you, but you do need to pair off from the pure bio, or you need to hard commit into like Covenant, right? It's really, there's not so many options. And even then, the Covenant is kind of unmapped. I think most people would look at me foolishly for saying such a thing, but
I think
it's just not something that people are practiced with.
If you hard commit to Bactylisk and just keep making Bactylisk, I think you can do a spawn. If you just like, are like, all right, I am Bactylisk, man, I will not deviate from this path. I think you can do it. Now, here we go. There's just one up there, but that does do a lot. He's getting those bounces.
That's right.
Here's the thing. I think Milkicow can hold his pizza slices just fine, but he does need to go somewhere other than Cyprian Huracan. That will not be able to win in the long term against this.
Indeed, indeed. And so we have the 5th Stockade. Remember, there's this guy all the way up here who's just been slowly trickling them in. And Ministry number 3 on the way. Milky wants to push it a little bit further. He's not building himself up to a sharp timing. But he's also, is under duress here. Mixu could finally chain a couple wins together in the show match because there's a lot of
mistake. He shouldn't be pulling back from the ramp. I feel like it's his best chance to hold here. If he's in his natural... I mean, okay, it's narrow and there's a little splash from the Cyprian, so maybe he can still hold. But I think it definitely would have been better if it was across that ramp in like a wide arc. Now, he's going to come in at like the worst angle I can imagine. Let's see. Oh, and the Ministry will actually be able to tank here if it comes to that. I think Milkicow will be okay, but all the Bactylisks... Oh, they're going to hit that Ministry actually and just bounce around.
Yes, indeed they are. There's no healing, Neblime. There is no healing here. Milkicow is going to end up losing Cyprians to that Ministry of all things.
Oh, he's just running. He's just routing. Dude. His morale is gone. He has no hope.
If he can push the Ministry into the incoming force, he can at least get it away from his bio army, but lifting it is not enough for that.
He doesn't even want to try, dude. Look at these units back on the ramp. I don't think he can do this. Well, he's going to come in here now. But there's so many battles by this time. The Huracan's getting as close as they may.
Nah, I don't think so. It's actually closer than I thought, though. He clears out all the front line. The Masons are going to occupy things. More Huracans trying to come in, but as you kill the Bactylisks, they regress into Hydras. It's such a pain to clear this out with just a few Terran bio units. Once the Zerg has range parity with the Cyprian, you need something that will get up close. You need Matadors from the Fulcrum or something like that, and he just doesn't have anything like it.
Yeah, you think we can see if he had the ramp, would have been a much closer fight.
Yes.
But, unfortunately, he is going to get absolutely destroyed here, and honestly, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to be tacked back into your base where these splashes can do too much. But man, look at those Maverick death graphics, so much better than they used to be. So it's worth making them just to see them die.
It is. GG, Milkicow drops it. Mixu has chained together some games, and that, my friends, is another $10 to our fin, and that means that once again, Milkicow will be picking a map. Is this what we feared, Nibline? Is this going to be Milky getting run over, Mixu running away with it?
Well, he's going to need to do something other than basic stockade units, I think. And that's what I'm worried he has not prepared to do. I hope he's explored the tech tree somewhat. I'd love to see him throw down like a Fulcrum or something, or like, I don't know, who knows, like Wraiths or something, just to mix it up. Because I want to see what else he can do. So far, the bioplay has sort of not been doing it. He did get that one game, but now I think Mixu's onto him. But we'll see. We'll see what he tries to do.
Yeah, I mean,
options with Mixu's openings.
I think there's a lot of potential still, and we are going to be going all the way for 9 games here. as opposed to, your typical like best of 7 or best of 9 or anything like that. Every game is played. Every game is worth $10. And so if you're looking to clean up, if you're looking to get all the moolah, then you want to be in Mixu's shoes right now. Lion's share of $110 dues available for him. They get $10 to show up and $10 per win. So that's how that math works. We are going to Tokamaks port Magnetron, a StarCraft 2 map port that was achieving Class 1 status. Have you played much on Magnetron, Nebline? Do you have opinions on it?
I'd have to see the map to remember which one it is, to be honest. Can you hover over that preview for me?
I sure can.
No. I don't think I've played it even once.
This is the one that we started off our other StarCraft 2 show match on, where Trigger picked it. It was his favorite map in StarCraft 2, and it has the installation tiles and stuff. And you were talking about how, if you don't know anything about the modding space, then you might not know how epic this is that we have play on this kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like what do you mean? I can put a melee game, an installation tile set.
What? That's right.
What happens in StarCraft 1 if you host an installation tile set map just in melee? Oh, actually, I do know. I've done it before. I know you just spawn in and you're like, oh,
there's nothing to harvest and I can't build anywhere.
I'm just here. Yeah.
Yep, indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving our way on to our 5th game in this show match. We've got Mixu, the blue Zerg, in the top right, and milkicow in the bottom left, our Tyrian purple. No, Cordovan, in fact. Terran picking this map. This is the first time he's had to pick back-to-back maps, and that is because he has dropped the last 2 matches. Looking for a little redemption here. We'll see if he wants to diversify his playbook or if he still thinks that the bio can be his deliverance. Mixu harvesting Vespian already. I'm thinking we're probably going to see something like that last game. That looked pretty comprehensive for him.
Yeah, well, he's going to the 8 stockade again. How is he going to make it work this time, man? What is he going to do to pull this off? I keep saying I would love to see the Mavericks early. I think that would definitely be an option. Looks like it's going to be a Larvosk again. I guess he figures after the first few games, like, no, I can get away with my Hydra plans. The pool may not be needed. And maybe he's just thinking, well, with how many Harakans are being made constantly, he'd rather just get into Hydraless, or the Cyprians for that matter. I guess if you're not prepared to sort of set up big arcs, which so far Mixer really has not been doing, you don't really want Quas units against the Cyprians. That's going to be pretty tough.
It is going to be pretty tough. And I just want to see whether or not, Mixu is able to keep his playbook going, or is he even going to need to adjust it? Because Milky still doubling down on the stockades, right? So that's something that we are going to continue to see. I think you can do one of 2 things, right? You can open bio and then figure out what you're transitioning to, with bio being the supportive role, and that would typically be 2 stockade. One of them makes a vestry later on in the game, and you can make Harakan cleric or a shaman here and there. But mostly you're supporting the mech army that you've switched into. I think the other thing that you consider is having bio still be the pièce de résistance. Sorry, I had to speak French on broadcast. But you also have access to Starpad. You go for that airplay. You get ant seals. You get Trojans to drop things everywhere. You might even decide to, mess around a little bit, get wild with it, build some Valkyries, because the Zerg went for some air. Calculus, a common sort of unit that forces Valks out of the Terran player to compete. So these are all things that we've seen in the meta. Whether or not we'll see them in this show match remains to be seen, because Milky's been staying on bio, and it seems like he just wants to mass Cyprians like Hit 'em Up told somebody else to. I think it was Newt in a weekend wage. But hey, Mix is expanding, and a Hydra then follow-up, so let's see what happens.
Well, if he sort of had the right engage last game, Mass Cyprian still might have done it. Yeah, it's so far across this map, man. I mean, the Sarakan's going to be nice to see that the expansion is up here, but then what? It just has to turn around. Very sad.
Yeah.
I remember the days when people would make 6 stockade and send a single Harakan to your base. That was a time.
That happened?
In fact,
sorry, I feel like that's a deed that I don't remember.
I never. Wait, did I? Oh, I only did it one time, but I didn't even go across the base because I knew Shambler was going to 6-4 me.
You did 6 stockade Harakan Veek, but that was versus Protoss. That was different.
Oh, yeah. No, that was another very specific thing because I was going to go kill his pylon.
Yeah.
And it still almost worked, even though he was cross positions. I'm mad about that to this day.
Classic.
So it would have been beautiful. It would have been crushing if he was close positions. So,
absolutely.
Anyway,
here we go.
Those days are gone, apparently. It's just the 8 Harakan, the sad 8 Harakan coming across and being like, oh, I can't do anything. Man, they're passing.
Yes,
They're
indeed.
passing, and soon Masons will be passing.
There will be a lot of Masons passing. We got 4 Hydras out here that can sort of micro versus the bio play here. He's going to initially push Mixu's sort of consolidated defenses back. He's even pulling these other Hydras around for a flank. I like the positional gameplay. However, his Zero Core drop will not be answered. We've got no units on standby, only more reinforcements for Milky. This is a deadly position in theory. Forcing a cancel onto that is very nice.
Yeah, you can't even break this though, because you get in there with the Hatch Boss and the Hydras can just come in and kill stuff. Well, I guess he's not going to commit to it because he's busy harassing. Oh man, this is going to be pretty bad. He might lose the Hatch Boss, but he needs to be careful because the Hydras will come down and clean this up if he's not careful. Oh, is there a cause? Are you not attacking? Oh, he's going for it. I don't know about this.
I'd love to tear up some of these Larvosks. He didn't end up going after the hatch. He feels pressured because his Masons are doing battle. The Cyprians are slowly cleaning up everything, though. Looks like the worker count's still pretty healthy for the Terran, but he doesn't do much critical damage on the other end. Droleth even killing a Huracan. A little bit of a trick shot movement. What a chaotic early game. That was just 2 rushes back to back.
Well, I do think this favors Terran more.
I love this, by the way. Avaleth blocking the sip shots. Can't even shoot the Hydras. Big gas clouds in my way.
Dude, is that the meta? If it's like a mass Cyprian ball, you make Irelefs and just like 50 of them. And it's like the Anseal stack, you know? Like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that would be pretty baller, actually. I hope that people do that. I think Mixu's showing us a couple of cool things, but... You know, he's also against someone who... Mixu has had 1 show match of practice, which is all the difference that it needs sometimes. Milky's been practicing behind the scenes. And honestly, both players, I think they played pretty well overall in that sequence. And right now, Milky has a pretty sizable worker advantage. He just needs to watch out for those drops. And there are... He scouted 2 extra Ovolets plus the one that's in his base. He should know Mixu is going to go drop. He's got 1 anchor with very few units in it. And he's got very few military units to hold what Mixu is pulling out. If he doesn't end up... sort of pushing this drop away, this game will be over very shortly.
What's he going to do with the little squad there? They're just going to get dropped on and destroyed. Oh man, he needs like more units to pop out right now. He's not even producing of all 3 stockades, by the way. I think he might have missed Hotkeying one. But I'm very worried right now. It might be another quick one. Here we go. Oh yes, he's going to come right in here.
Yeah, and he doesn't pull away in time, so that Huracan almost completely killed before it has a chance to do much of anything. Now pressing towards the front, and there's Huracans in the anchor. That's not going to help you out at all, buddy. Well, it's actually a pretty good engagement point for the Terran army, but the Huracans are busy trying to chase the front instead of dealing with that clump of units in the back. Now evacuating the natural mineral line as well. The Hydra's still trying to press things in. Well, the evacuation of those drops units, though. He's going to consolidate his force.
Although I don't think you can take this ramp. This might be a mistake. Well, with the Azura cores, actually. And what is there up here, actually? Yeah, he can easily come in there.
Oh, all of his units are lost. No F2. Yeah. No F2. GG. Milky Cow lost all of his units in the mineral line. And even if he hadn't, you're right. There was a very strong chance there that was a win for Mixu. These games are going fast. I thought we would be here for a lot longer, but that's going to be game 5. And that does go the way of Mixu, who now leads 4-1 over Milky.
Yeah, he's running rings around him. As you pointed out, he has that game experience. Milky Cow, I think, is executing reasonably for what he's doing, but he does not have a breadth of different things to try, it seems like, or experience with like the different things his opponent can do to him. And like you say, even though the drops have been coming non-stop, he does not seem prepared for them at any time. I don't think he knows lodestones exist, for example. That would probably be pretty good at this rate, because if I was in this series, I'd just say, alright, he's going to keep dropping. If it's Hydra, if he's going to drop, I'm just going to prepare for that. And even with the quads, he dropped as well. Yeah,
that's true. I feel like, one thing that's kind of funny, and I don't know that these homies know this, but like, when Mixu was in the middle of the show match versus Indy, and he was on the receiving end of things, he was messaging me like, dude, I don't even understand what to do. And I explained a couple of just concepts. They're like, oh, this is what this ability does. This is what this unit does. I didn't tell him like, this is a good strat. I was just like, yeah, this is what this, and he was able to kind of piece it together and stuff. Milky hasn't done any of that. I don't know if he talks to the homies in the Russian chat or something. That might be one thing that he does. But yeah, it's just one of those things that is funny to me. He's trying to figure it out kind of all on his own right now. Like a true tournament competitor here. He has no coach, he has no manager, he has no homie in his ear telling him what to do, at least as far as I know. So he is gonna be sort of toughing it out. But he picks Oneros, the port of Everdream. This is also one done by Jujic. That last one was done by yours truly. So yeah.
I do not know that map.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting one. This is the layout. We've played on it before, Nebline, but...
Oh yes, now that I look at it, I've played on it, yes. But where's it from originally?
StarCraft 2. Yeah, this is a StarCraft 2.
So many StarCraft 2 ports.
We only have 4 total. It's there's Everdream, which is what this one is. We have Tsunami, which was Oceanborn. We have what was the other one? Obviously, we have Magnetron as a port of Tokamak, and then we have Gilded Wall, which is a port of Golden Wall. So we haven't seen that yet. We might see it later.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that they get to sort of select maps that hopefully they're more familiar with.
Yeah, hopefully. Gives them a little bit of an idea here and there. One thing that I do want to see over time is how Mixu and Milky adapt to the map, if there even is going to be an adaptation to the map adaptation.
Well, I would like to see it. I'd like to see something, but he ain't mining gas, Prinogo. He's mining minerals.
Sure is. Milky Cow, our blood. No, it's Maroon. Maroon Terran in the bottom left. Mixu, the blue Zerg in the top right. Still hasn't had Milky steal his color yet, so just going to point that out. He hasn't had to remake any games. And
if there's any play where you make like a bunch of ministries and fight on the front line of Masons? The battle workers.
That's true. That's true.
What? Why? That's not a ministry. Why is it so small and square? What are you doing?
He's not ministry first. That's weird. That doesn't even make Masons, dude. All right, listen. I did forget. The chat is pointing out that Jujic did make a port of Typhon, a port of Typhoon. I don't even know what it's called. What was the original map name? Was it also Typhon? I don't know. Anyway, Jujic made a map called Typhon, and it was a port of a StarCraft 2 map, and I don't remember the name.
Yes, I played on that one. Sure.
Yeah.
I quite like that one, but it did not seem to be popular, unfortunately.
It seems like the overall, like the massive amount of airspace was a point of contention for people. I should add it to the port list, though, just because I don't care if people pick it in a show match or whatever. Listen, I cannot possibly pretend to have like not that map when we just played on Valhalla Valley earlier, so whatever.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, a port of Abyssal Reef, that's what it is. So yeah, at some point I'll add that to the map
isn't
list.
it tradition to expose new Cosmonarchy players to like the worst maps imaginable, and then do jank strategies on them? So I think it's all to the good.
Indeed it is. Oh
3
no.
November Cillian 333
Oh no, he's gone for it. But what if he gets a fourth one?
333 Sextillion 333 Quindecillion
Maybe things will be different.
333
I'm being 333'd right now because Shambler decided to donate. He donated a Shambler. He subbed to the chat, to Twitch, but his sub message was just a billion threes, and so I was just hearing 333 quintillion, 333 decillion, whatever. My own Artosis moment right there. So there you go.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, man, if you want the big bucks, you got to enable that degenerate stuff in chat.
No,
that's how it works.
No, I will not allow people to make AI of Mario. I will not.
Yeah, well,
it will not happen.
I guess you just don't want to be rich.
Clip this and post it when I allow it.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna just edit it. Say I will enable.
Well, there we go. Harakans are on the way, and one of them is already here.
I sent it in this time.
Yeah.
Oh, no, where are you going? You're gonna fight them? They're weak. They have a paper. Oh, sad.
Well,
nice
we do have another.
I donated on Ko-fi too. Forgot it wouldn't show up on stream. Also, Shambler, more like the Rambler. Got him.
Got him! Shambler, more like the Rambler. Got him! Alexander just donated $6 to say that. So
that's nice.
That's good. That's good. Thank you, homie. Thank you, all the homies who have provided some prize pool pal right here. Yeah, Milky's got a pretty sizable army, and he at least got a little bit of a tickle in on Mixu. So Mixu's been really steadfast in staying on Hydrith. Will the adaptations be here in time, right? We're only on game 6, so there's 3 more after this. Just keep that count in your head, because there's not so many more options for, Milky to find success in the series. He could still technically win the majority of the games, but if he drops this one or any of the next ones, it's majority Mixu.
Yeah, I do like that he's mixing in more map. I don't know if this heralds some sort of change. Because the Cyprians are having trouble. They're just a bit too immobile. But if you get all these maps, you're going to have to spread out in like nice concaves and stuff. Which, it's not that StarCraft 2 players don't possess that skill set, but as we saw with Mixu before, I feel like they don't really understand the need for it sometimes.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes. Oh, look at this. The Harakan Harass. The Haraskan, I don't know.
The Harasakan.
Yeah, there you go. Although he doesn't get any kills.
No, but
mining time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He also dragged a couple of those Zerg units backwards, which is pretty good. Now he's going to go down here, but he's just being a nuisance, and he's also scouting that this is a pretty committed attack. Oh, dies too late to see the Ovaleth, so the drop incoming. However, Mixu is diving across the map, and it does feel like that initial. Scarier. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of Cyprians. That's the big deal. He has a few Mavericks in here as well, but the big deal is the Cyprians. I love the little bank a couple Izzies off. They're obviously going to wrap around, but there's no expansion yet for Milky, and he has very limited defenses. He's already parked a couple units for anti-drop, though. Pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like Milky should know by this point that the drop is just coming. Like I was saying, I think you just got to assume. And, you know, like 5 or 6 Mavs will easily handle that.
What is he doing? Is he trying to preemptively kill 2 Izzies right over here? I'm not quite sure what's happening here.
Extension. Yeah, he's way out of position now. I mean, what if Mixu just charges in now?
Oh, he's got the drop. Oh, the Ovalets are empty. He didn't actually fork off the Izzies. Now he's got 6 of them heading that way. So here's the thing. We got Hydras, but not that many Izzies left over in the army. That means the front line is pretty weak for Mixu in a head-to-head engagement. This is exactly what you want to see in this sort of situation for the Terran army, but he's leaving with his base. He's leaving his base open. This is going to end up in another base race where if he doesn't wipe the army and the subsequent reinforcements, he will end up in a very, very tough pickle. His army's leaving all the way out. All the way out. He's only got what units are going to come out here. There's 6 Izira cores.
Again, does he not expect the drop by now? I guess not. That's a worker killing drop for sure.
Oh yeah, he needs to drill.
Away. Well, he doesn't have a natural. Oh, he does have vision though. Yeah, I guess you can see. Not drilling, they're just moving. These aren't StarCraft 2 workers. They're not going to cooperate with your wishes.
No.
But he's pushing it back.
Yeah, he's got enough Hurricanes, and the Izira cores do take a long time for that.
No.
Well, hey, hold on. He's actually not too bad. Not too bad. He's lifting this one. The army's coming around. His army actually waited so he could counterattack. He wants to see if he can hold. I don't think that's going to be a possibility. He's going to have to lift everything he owns and get it out of Taj. If he can eliminate Mixu, there's not that much here.
Dude, he can fly away. He can just fly away. There's no way all this stuff will get killed before it flies away. And he can easily kill the Hatcross and the Larvosk. I think he can win this base.
I don't think Mixu has anything. He's going to add some more stuff. He's making a lot of Izira cores. Some of them are going to get spawned. Can't the Mavericks get stimmed?
Does he know it's production only? Does that make critical? He's not lifting. This is a critical error. If he lifted and flew away, it'd be fine. But now I think they can actually catch those units if they act quickly. If Mixu targets the right units for buildings before they fly away, I think he can actually wipe it all. But does does milkicow know the elimination condition that he only needs to kill the Larvosk and the Hatcharos?
Oh my god, it's down to the wire, man. It is down to the wire, but only now is his ministry not burning, thankfully. Gonna lift away and float to the corner.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that means he wins. He even builds another stockade in the corner. Oh, he knows. He knows. He needs to kill the production of the enemy, though. Sure, he's killed his economy, but I think the army for Zerg may be strong enough if he can get back here in time. Oh, he makes another Hatcharosk. Okay.
Base race time. Does he know where the other one is? Because in a head-to-head fight, honestly, I think the army just crushes. I don't think Mixu is going to lose. Milky cannot handle that.
Depends on the engagement. With the right engagement, I think Milky can definitely win, but he has not shown so far that he kind of knows how to do that. And how the hell is he ever going to find this Hatcharosk, man? I think Mixu has this just because he can start building up there. Honestly, he makes a single circuit, and that's probably enough to win. Well, we'll see. We'll see what Milky wants to try and do. He realizes now, like, hang on a minute. Game not over? Uh-oh. What is he going to do with this ministry? He's one Mason in the corner. Oh, no, if it's on fire, it's all over. Oh, it's going to be on fire for sure. Oh, that's it. It's over. He's on a clock now, and it's a very short clock. We'll see. Oh, wait, he does have a stockade. I forgot. He has a stockade. So he's not eliminated, but he will not be able to mine anymore. That Mason is not going to be able to come and repair this.
Wait, hold on. If he knew that at 9 o'clock that's where, or 3 o'clock that's where it was, he could actually have baited him out with that. He could have baited him out with that. He needs to find out where Mixu is.
Again, how's he ever going to find this, though? Because it's very dangerous to run around all these bases when you know that big Zerg army is out there. At least the stockade will be flying around. Is there no dead ground on this map where you can hide?
Well, I mean, it's lifted, so you can land it anywhere.
I'm just saying, there's anywhere that you can sit that Hydras can't reach. Not that it might matter. I think you're right about the 2 armies when I look at it. Okay, he finds it, or at least he finds where the army is, so he might suspect. Looks like he's just going to hold here. I don't think he realizes that Mixu still has an economy. He's just going for the stalemate. We'll see how long it takes for Mixu to do something. Oh, the one Mason. I mean, I don't know how seriously Mixu might take it. He might be like, oh no, he must have a ministry in there, but he does not. Oh, he has the overlefts anyway. Oh, there's nothing Milky can really do here. I think it's just a matter of time now. Mixu does have a couple Drollos mining. He's not.
He's gonna pair it off. If he actually gets there,
Oh my
Nablon,
God.
no, he doesn't.
Oh.
He's so worried about it. He doesn't know for sure. He needs to move. He needs to move now, and he needs to go boldly.
If
He
cuts
needs
off
to
that
go
ramp, it might not matter
boldly.
ever. Yeah, he's like, where the hell's this army? If he kills it, that's actually game. That Hatrosk is the only thing left. Does Mixu realize? He's like, hang on a minute, he's moving his army back.
He doesn't know.
If he sees the army and flees, finds the one Hatrosk, he might realize, okay, it's the ramp. If he kills this army, he wins anyway. And this is a great angle for the Terran to have. Is Mixu going to commit? No, he wisely pulls back. Okay, still in it here, but Milky thinks he needs to fight the army. He does not realize his win condition here. Oh my God. Again, I think you just need to make one circuit and you're looking
found it
here. Oh, he's coming to drop, but like, well, what is this? A floating stockade? What are we doing? Oh my gosh. And he's weakened his army. Oh my God. If the army ran all the way across the map. But that might be even scarier. Again, if he finds this freaking Hatrosk, he can instantly win.
There's no way, dude. He's got 6 workers. He's making 3 more. Mixu must have the biggest grin on his face right now.
What are you doing with those draw lefts, man? Just make a circuit. Okay, he's back in position. So once again, Milky has to do the impossible to beat this army.
Yeah, the only real if Mixu just kind of camps at this high ground, there's not really a favorable angle. Milky's splitting off a Harak, and he thinks maybe they swapped bases. The stockade also floating across to see what's going on.
Oh my God!
Dude,
Milky going back to his own base is like, did he make Hatrosk?
I can't believe this is
okay, he doesn't even make the quas pool, by the way. No, we're gonna make a Hydra.
Yeah, remake Hydra. I don't want pool unit.
Okay, well, I think Milky still doesn't realize that there's draw lefts. That's
he found it. He found the K-Gret with the Hurakan, but that was one of his only units, and he sees that there's a structure being made. Yeah, that's right, because there's actually only one chance for him. Now, the stockade can't really help in the fight. Maybe it can kind of confuse the Hydras or something. If Mixu knows that that's the last structure, he can just try to focus it down, and then...
Yeah.
But I think you need the extra HP. I don't think you have another choice.
Alright, well, if Milky wins this engagement, he's an absolute hero. It's not impossible. The Cyprians can make it happen. He's getting a high ground. Why is the army disconnected? Those are so dangerous.
He's already got the cliff advantage.
That range,
yeah.
He needs to use that range. Yeah, this is good. But where are the Hurakans? He cannot lose his Cyprians. And that's just going to regenerate. Now the Arc. Oh no, Mixu's ready. That's not a Circus, that's a Lavos. He still hasn't produced a single military thing to help him. The Aziracor's just about to pop out now, though. He's going to go for it. Can he siege it down? He is sending the stockade. This is crazy that he's sending the stockade.
Big flank.
Oh, the flank. But the Hurakans are ready for the flank, although I don't know if it's actually going to work out.
No, GG. What a legendary base race game. I can't believe that's actually how that went down. That is absurd. And so Mixu has locked in the majority wins in his second show match showing. Yeah.
Once again, the Hurakan Cyprian, not it, unfortunately. I mean, I feel like he even deliberately sort of went around the army because he's moving his army like way off to the side. Maybe he's thinking like, oh, the only way I can do this is a base trade. And, you know, the odds looked better than the last couple of games. That's true.
It sure did. Yeah, it sure did. And I honestly, I have to just point out the fact that... we are only going to see like absurd levels of micro in those sort of situations, right? It's just one of those wild spots where you don't expect the players to be like down to nothing. I really thought Milky had it if he just made for a beeline, but there's no way for him to know where the base is. A bit of a tragedy. Yeah. A bit of a tragedy.
If he just had that intel, I think we would have had a clear win, but that's also down to Mixu's sort of misplay there, that he didn't really utilize the base properly. And he also has his army out of position. But yeah, I guess, you know, unpunished mistakes. That's how it goes in Brood War most of the time. Oh, we're going to a Brood War map now. Okay.
Indeed we are. This is Frozen Sylphid, a port of Neo Sylphid, done by Biddy and Jujic. And so we are going to have a hell of a time on this 3-spawn map as Milky selects this one. He's happy to get us looking. And yeah, I also just let them know that we do indeed have Abyssal Reef ported. So in case they want to check that one out, they can. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Game 7 of our show match. We only have 2 more to go after this. There's not so many more opportunities for the players to ply their trade and make their money. Mixu has the lion's share right now. Milky can still come back in a pretty big way. If he wants to just chain together these last 3, it'll make it look pretty damn competitive. He is our Lemon Terran in the bottom right, and Mixu our Blue Zerg in the bottom left. So, Nablime, as our resident lemon expert, how do you feel about milkicow?
You know, if I saw a lemon that was this color, I probably wouldn't be that keen. It doesn't seem quite right. But a 2 out of 10.
Okay, you like something more vibrant. You like something more,
That's right.
more glowing, shall we say?
I want them to have sprayed that yellow paint on it. All right, that's the
lemon I see. I see. I like to eat the rind, so I don't mind if they're a little bit more pale because this is the color they are on the inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
And you know, it's what on the inside that counts, right? So, just saying.
I guess so. We'll soon see the insides of all of Milky Cow's units. I think that's the most likely outcome. I'm thinking here, especially since there's no ramp here. It's very droppable. This is not as bad as Tower Cross, but it's that similar setup where you have this base surrounded by walls on all sides. It's a very droppable setup. And we know Mixu's going to be making those level up and drop. There is no chance that doesn't happen. Look, what can I say? I wish I could say, like, something crazy, but I'm just like, okay, Mixu's going to make some Hydro units, he's going to drop, Milky's going to get devastated by the drop and die, because what else are we expecting at this point?
Well, it's going to be another round of Hydrith with the expansion follow-up, we presume, as we already have a pretty fast expand here. This is 1 Stockade expand Maverick. First time he does the Maverick build instead of a Huracan first, at least that I've clocked. So that's pretty interesting. Mixu actually holding back his expansion tendencies while his Hydrith gestates, and he will scout first before the hatch goes down. He is moving to the 12 o'clock spawn, while the Maverick is moving to the correct bottom left spawn. So happy to see that. That's something that milkicow will use to his advantage. I think he does need a little bit of love here. He does need a little bit of like gassing himself up a little bit by saying, yeah, man, I can beat him. Look, I got my luck on my side. I scouted, I bopped him. I was so close that last game. And honestly, some of the other matches were pretty close. Cutthroat. Knife's Edge, and I'm not talking about the map. Now, the Maverick stims, sees the expansion, now is going to stim in, and the Hydra then is only now popping.
He does not know about where the Rocal is that uncertain about. So this is going to be quite annoying, and he's going to have to keep cutting back. He's over-stimming quite a lot, but that's okay. He has a lot of health. And he's going to keep going and targeting those drones. And now we see how much damage Maverick can do. The micro really not the best for Milky Cow here, unfortunately, but it is causing some lost mining time. I'm disappointed. I feel like he really could have at least killed a draw left there, but he does pull back, expecting those Hydro units to come out quite fast, and they are going to be out. Meanwhile, the scouting unit had no chance. Maybe he's listening to the cast where I keep saying I don't like Cyprians. It's going to be Mavericks this time. I'd be keen to see a pure Maverick Huracan game, see if we can make anything better happen with that. Because he's just going to have a bigger army and, you know, hopefully he can get a better engagement. Here we go. This one Maverick still marauding. Oh.
Indeed. Not quite able to escape. I think if he had kept full bore right-click into the main base of Milky, he would have gone back home to tell his tale in person. Instead, he was writing a Last Will and Testament with the AI adjutant or whatever, you know, like... Grok, please write my last will.
Yeah.
All right, it's very fast ski back rush from Mixu. It looks pretty clear that he wants to go for the backdols. He sees the fast expansion, and I don't know if this is a thought process, but if he knows, as you know, looking at the situation, this is like that Knife's Edge game. I'm just going to run in with a bunch of backdols and contain him at his natural. That could absolutely work wonders here.
That is true. If he does go a lot of Mavericks, the backdols are only even like more powerful. So I'm hoping that's not what we see so fast. I think he has a chance to get out on the map. That's the main thing. If you're stuck in your natural, in a defensive posture, the backlists are going to destroy you. You need to be out there where you can sort of maneuver around and get like a big wide engagement. Here we go. Here comes the drop. What a surprise. He's like, oh, look at me. I'm ready this time. Yeah, that's right. Get out of here.
He needs to do a little bit better on the orb blocking, but, it's not like StarCraft 2 pathing, so I forgive him for any awkwardness there. And to be fair, like, Mixu's making it look pretty easy because he's kind of navigated this early game a little bit versus Indy's pressure as Protoss. But, Milky has been able to press him, and we can see that their focuses kind of fall away when it's, chaos time, and you got drops happening and crazy stuff. Milky's just not bothered to do anything other than make stockades. He's capping his ridge inside the natural, not doing so in the main. He's actually not harvesting gas at all in the main, which is really funny.
Dude, I think he could probably bust Mixu if he was across the map right now.
Yeah.
Alas, he is not. Oh, there come the backdoors as well. By the way, Zorkis is out.
Yes, that's right.
Is he going to make Lake his? Oh, are we lagging? Or is that just the stream?
No, just the stream.
Yeah. I wonder what other Zorkis units he even knows about, because any of them could be devastating if used correctly here. And now, yeah, this is the problem I was going to say, by the way. He did well being ready for the drop, but he is not leaving continued defense for it. And again, I don't really know how this happens when it's happened every game. He keeps getting dropped, and still he is not adequately prepared. And now these workers are going to be on a lot of threat from these zero cores again. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. Only one is zero core. Never mind. It's a lot less threatening, but the poor Sieve is going to get slapped here.
Feels like it. The Mavericks are here to stem the enemy down. I don't think this will be too consequential.
Does he know he can mine gas without that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he does. Okay, well, I wonder why he's getting it, because I don't think his plans are very gas-oriented, are they?
Well, he's got the Vestry. Shamans are expensive, but that's the only thing that costs gas. Third Ministry on the way. He's clearly angling for a more of a macro-oriented strat. Now he's leaving those Mavericks that you mentioned for that continuous defense, and he's got this stockade over here as well to spot for any drops that fly over, which I think is pretty smart.
That kind of works, I guess.
Yeah, he did.
Full-time job.
Yes, he did. He did that on Knife's Edge as well, and I wasn't sure if it was like hiding versus an early scout, which maybe it was. This one was well after the scout though, and he still did it.
All right, well, he's going to come here and start bouncing all over these Mavericks. Milky needs to realize that the only option is to stim and charge. If he just pulls back like he did before, it's going to look like that other game where he got just slowly picked apart. He is moving out here on the map.
Hold on.
He's going to be better.
Anchor using it to manually hot drop the Harakans? No, never mind. He's landing it. That's not what you want at all.
Here we go. That's a lot of mavs. That's a very threatening number of mavs. I mean, his zero cores will do okay here, but see, he's too timid. He really needed to just get in there and keep attacking, but now he's stimmed, he's lost all HP. I guess he's waiting for his shamans, but he is just going to get out range. And the narrower the area he's in, the more dangerous it will be. This poor anchor resident's not doing too good.
Yeah, the Shaman helps out a lot versus the backfill bounces, but he doesn't have any armor rim, so this is kind of a problem there.
Okay, the Cyprian's on the way, by the way, but they're kind of going to do
worker
the
Paul.
Masons, let's go.
Yeah, just trying to diffuse those bounces. The stim is really good. Really, really good here.
Yeah.
Let's see what Milky can do. He's got a lot more Mavericks coming behind this, by the way. Full worker Paul. And so far, they're kind of sort of getting on top of the backdolls and just kind of confusing the army as they try to A-move. Need another stim. The Shaman's bringing up the rear. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's that stim. I think he's popped it.
He has indeed.
He can kill this army, but Mixu doing a good job microing back. Is he going to click to engage? Here we go.
Another stim. We need it.
Gonna tank.
There it is. All right. I think he's just barely going to break through. The Shaman deployed in the back is helping out. We got a couple of Cyprians out there, and they can't break that bottom flank. The Mavs continuing to do what they do best, which is cost-efficiently die. And it looks like the bulk of the Zerg army has been beaten back. There's only I0 cores coming in for reinforcements, which is actually pretty underwhelming when you don't have a good mid lane.
You can kill those. He does not want to get close. He does not realize how they work, I don't think. Okay, that drop defense is going to be good, though. He's finally done it. Unfortunately, the front army's just about going to get cleaned up here. The Cyprians, I have to say, once again, really not pulling their weight, unfortunately. If you had equal value in Harakans in the front, it probably would have been a different story. But that was better. Those Mavericks did do better than what we've seen so far. He had a real chance to take that.
Yeah, the drops disrupted his mining for too long, and obviously he also did pull a lot of workers to make that initial fight look good. If he was able to get right on top of the backdolls and really sink his teeth into them, throw the bullets at them, get them on fire, all that sort of thing, very, very difficult to make happen when you don't know the rules. But that will be GG, and that's the 6th win for Mixu. He's cleaning up, but it's so weird. These games don't look so one-sided until, eventually the very end. And then it's like, oh, you look at the score, and what? milkicow barely showed up, and some of these games are really close.
Yeah, that engagement was so hard to call. Like, it could have gone either way. So, I think it's good that he's trying something different. Although, the frustration there is that he's still just trying something different in the stockade. It could make other buildings, it could be done.
It could be indeed. It could be indeed.
The Covenant? Perhaps the Covenant? I don't know if Savants can win like we're talking about. I don't know how good they have as backdoors, but it'd be something. Of course.
We're going to Crisis Vector. That's right. So this will be apparently even the StarCraft 2 pros like this map, or have played this map, or understand this map.
It's kind of the default map. It's becoming the Daybreak of Cosmonarchy.
I don't even know what Daybreak is, but yeah, fair enough.
That's wild to me.
Dust 2 of Cosmonarchy.
Yeah, Daybreak was kind of like the Dust 2 of StarCraft 2, but not actually good.
I see.
Yeah, it was played a lot for a long time.
It's the Lost Temple, then. Lost Temple was
yes, there you go. It's not that bad, though. See, I cannot accept any of these because it's not quite 100% accurate. Sorry, Pinocchio.
Well, Crisis Vector is
yeah,
Crisis Vector is pretty good. It's just I think people. So I would actually, I think I would more liken it to Mirage. Mirage in Counter-Strike always gives good games, but it's so heavily played that people kind of overrate it, or I guess underrated. Actually, they say, oh, I don't like it as much or whatever. It gets like a bad rep just from overexposure. You get viewer fatigue or player fatigue. That's it. So. Let's find out, though, what happens on Crisis Vector, the mirage of Cosmonarchy. I hope you guys are excited, because I sure am. We are going back into it. I'll get that overlay updated in just a moment. But here we are, the blue Zerg of Mixu in the top left, and the milky cow in the bottom right seems to be... Oh, damn, I know this color. He is Beaster Brown.
Is olive even a color we have?
But there's light olive and dark olive, so you get partial credit.
Why are you going to make it so hard for us?
I don't know. Every time I see light olive, I guess dark olive, because olive is just a dark color. So I make it hard on myself, too.
Done it to yourself, yeah. All right, well, it's another installation map. Get to see those cool installation tiles, so that's a plus. Again, these StarCraft 2 players, it's wasted on them. Look at that cool, silo, door thing, the bottomless pit thing that opens. So sad that they don't even know that thing. Yeah, look at that.
It's true, it's true.
So beautiful. For some reason it's a unit. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it's like a sprite that you can enable or disable the doodad state on, and then it will open or close. It's pretty awesome. So this will be a ministry first for Milky Cow. Mixu's opponent, Milky Cow. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Mixu, on the other hand, going for that Larvosk. So these builds don't really collide with each other. Milky Cow almost held ministry first on Valhalla Valley with... like a Hydrith IZ rush, you know what I mean? So, if he can hold that on a shorter rush distance map, he should be able to hold whatever Mixu's got coming at him. But I do like the idea of the Ministry first, and I like that he also tries to build his production a little bit closer to his natural as well. This is a very StarCraft 2 style sort of game. Assuming he's doing that, he actually might just be scouting with the... it's actually going to be a stockade further back. I was thinking of the Valhalla Valley game where he had a fun little SimCity going on.
Yeah, I wonder if, I was about to say, damn, this Hydra on the web. Had they agreed to just, mine this sector in peace? It would have been so beautiful.
Yes.
But, alas, they're beginning to build up arms against one another. There will be conflict. There will be blood.
There will indeed be blood. This is game 8, by the way. Our last game is up next. And no, you first. No, you first. All right, you know what? Canadian.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yep.
Oh, he's winning. He's pushing him back.
That's right.
Berserk Menace.
Back in your hole. Well, the funniest thing is that Mixu could have just blocked away. Oh, he's got blocked by the. I think Milky was actually looking, but it would have been really funny if he just looked away and his Mason automatically blocked it.
You think you can run from me? Oh, yes, you can. Goodbye. Okay, round 2. He bought his buddy.
That's right.
He's gonna build something.
Yeah, yeah, boy.
Should have built some more HP on that, but I guess he doesn't want to lose the Mason.
Yeah, he wants to be able to evacuate it. Oh, I think Mixu was going to go to 12, but he misclicked. So he's
just given up. He's not going to kill it. It's like, all right, you can have this round.
Sure, I'll just keep making it then. Wait.
Make it, lift it away, bring it home, and use it for defense.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good,
Yeah, Mixu's been throwing off. Look how many minerals he has, man.
That really slows him down. That was really good damage, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
No, he makes it even harder, and then now it's going to take him even longer.
I wish he'd finished it and floated it to the 3rd.
I think he would have died.
In regular Brood War, if you do this against Zergus Terran and they take the 3rd, it's actually pretty good to build a bunker there. So I don't know, in Cosmonarchy, it's probably pretty good to float it over to the 3rd.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Build it in secret. Now, the Azure Core has spotted the Mason, and indeed confirming, okay, just like in StarCraft 2, just like in StarCraft 1, you build that 3rd. Okay, I see what's going on. So he knows. But he also knows he's really far ahead economically. He's got, a 6-worker lead, but that's going to continue to increase. Obviously, right now it decreased because that one guy ended up going down. I don't think he scouted the Ovoleth, but he's already got Mavericks kind of patrolling in this area. He should know what's up. And he doesn't have any good drop defense, but if his front line is secured by the anchors and the Mavericks and the anchor, I don't think there's any concern whatsoever here.
Well, I do wonder, this is Orcas. It was unused last game.
That's right. He did not bother with it.
Seemed pretty good. Against Maverick only, surely Zil used to be decent too.
Mavericks were doing work. I think Milky maybe maybe underestimated how good they were in that last game on Sylphid, but... Here we are.
Well, I don't think he did because he's done that and been like, all right, this game I'm making only Mavericks.
That's
no
right.
Gas.
That's
so
right.
I
Now
think
he's
he
aware.
knows they're good.
He is zero.
Rockets wouldn't hurt.
No Vespene Harvest whatsoever. I think he's going to go
Not
for another
needed.
Ministry here in a second. Yeah, there it is.
Stockades too, though. How many Stockade Maverick can you support on one base? It's like 11 or something?
It's really ridiculous. Yeah, so if you think about the 2-base eco, then yeah, it should be a lot. Now, the Anchors are going to hold this off just fine. He should definitely be suspicious, and indeed, the Azure Cores come in. He's already got 6 Mavericks over here. Yeah, he's going to focus down the Obelisk. I actually don't know if I like that as much because it means that the Azure Cores are guaranteed to kill more workers and do more damage. So I don't like that quite as much, but still has a 9-worker lead over his opponent. And that third base
will evaporate versus Zerg rapidly, though. Like, once Zerg takes the foot off the pedal with military units, which maybe he's not going to do, he will be able to crush the worker lead. Now, there's Zoyus and Lakisla Scout. Again, I think this problem for Milky is if he's stuck in his natural, the Lakisla is going to engage such a narrow area, it's going to be very hard to do anything. Now, the Zoyus, look, I take it back what I was saying. You know what? I think Zoyus are not going to be very good here because there's just going to be so much DPS to power through them. Harakans are out. So with Harakans in the front, Mavericks in the back, if there's not a very high Lakisla count, he can definitely do stuff here. I just wish he was out on the map right now.
Yeah, he needs to be. He needs advanced warning of the lake because he has no detection over here right now. So he has no awareness that anything like that is coming. Now, in this situation, he's starting to harvest some Vespene, only from the natural and pretty limited at that. So it's going to be a while before he gets a Star Pad or a Vestry, both prerequisites for him to get mobile detection. Wouldn't hate a Cestus if he's just going to try. Now he sees that, okay, there's Lakes out there. And yeah, well, his Harakans are just going to burst down one of them, but yeah, they are going to be eviscerated very quickly. He needs to fall back. He definitely needs to fall back. He's got one Maverick heckling the base up at 12.
That's actually huge. You know what? That trading those like 4 Harakans from because it's actually not that bad. It's kind of good.
It is. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Vestry on the way.
Dude, he's going to die for sure if he stays in his natural. I am so sure of this. Like, he needs to not be in here. Oh, no.
Where did that other anchor go? Oh, he lifted it back over to try to defend the natural. There's no drops coming. Instead, it's all Lakes. He stims and bursts through just about everything other than the Lakes.
Oh, it's all dead. But can he get the Lakes? He needs, like, Masons.
There's so many more. Oh, and all of the Mavericks are evaporating. He doesn't have that much left. Only 4 Lakes remain. But there's more reinforcements coming, and the Mavericks have more to clean up than just that. They need to pull the Masons away. He's still got a 7-worker lead, but that will evaporate, not because Mixu's building workers, but because Mixu is killing workers. And milkicow is going to call it and concede his 3rd ministry, not able to establish a stake in the ground, and that is one last game, one last chance for Milky to get one on the board. Crushing.
Well, we did say there would be blood.
Yeah, there sure was on both sides, but Zerg like when they end up bleeding. Zerg, that's just normal. That means that everything is working as intended when their units are dying. It's the other side that needs to try to preserve a bit more.
Well, that is a shame because again he's doing so well with the Mavericks, but yeah, still not fundamentally sort of moving the army as needed. And very bold of Mixu to charge in there, I thought. You can see it was like sort of close-ish.
It was.
Even though he had like the hard counter unit almost and no detection. So, you know, brave moves, but it worked out.
It's brilliant. Or is it? Well, will Mixu, just run away with this completely, own everything in the process? It's a possibility. We have one last game. And we'll be going to a Biddy B map to finish us off. It's Frosted Forest coming at you.
All right. I do like this map. And you know what? Maybe Mixu will have a better time here if he can hold his ramp. But you know what? I can already see he's not going to realize there's a ramp there. Do you think he can tell? It's not super clear on the style set. The big ramp outside the natural.
I do think that the big ramp outside is a good spot for him to be if he's going to try to defend versus like the backdoor thing. I honestly think he just hasn't shown enough adaptation yet to build anything other than stockades, and he needs something other than stockades to really make things work out for him, at least in my opinion. I think when you go versus what Mixu has been doing, now he's starting to bring in Lakes. I mean, I will say, in StarCraft 2, when you see Lurkers as Terran, you start having nightmares because they are absolutely busted units in that. Not in a, like, not making a balance claim. I just mean, like, versus the comp that Milky's been doing, that's a nightmare. However, it would have been fine if he had a few more Cyprians and somehow had gotten the Vespian out for a Trojan of some kind. He might not have even needed the Sips if he had been able to get an Antseal, is what I meant to say, not a Trojan, some sort of detection. But he just doesn't go for Star Pad. So it's going to be back to aggressive play. milkicow, the purple Terran, Palatinate purple, in fact, in the top right. Mixu is not blue anymore. He is orange. Orange Zerg in the bottom left going for Larvosk. So
crazy.
We'll see what Milky can do.
You know, I believe he did mean Trojan. If you just dropped the Hurricanes on the army...
I was hopeful for that, too, at some point. I really thought on Sylphid, when he had the anchor out, and he had two Hurricanes in it, I really thought he was just going to use it to tank damage, drop the Hurricanes on. It's a slow-moving option. I think it's pretty good.
I want to see someone win that way one time. That'd be amazing. Maybe if your opponent has no anti-air or something, it could be a play. That'd be kind of wild.
Indeed, yeah. And as Kutiam in the chat points out, there are 52 Terran units in this game. Poor milkicow only made 6. Well, let's think about it. Mason, Maverick, Huracan, Cyprian, Cleric, Shaman. Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah. He hasn't made any other units.
Doing the equivalent of playing Brood War ZVZ out here.
Yeah. Mixu's got Droleth, Zethracore, Quasilisk. I don't think he made any Vorvs in his pool games.
No, in the end he did not. He made the Vorn.
Yeah. And then, obviously, Hydra, Iziracore. And then, what else did we have after that? We had Lakes, Zoryus, Rillarokor. So he's up to 9 or 8 units. That's by my count.
Bactylus?
Oh, yeah, Bactylus. Yeah, good point. Yeah, so 9 units. Ovaleth, 10 units.
He's crushing it.
Yeah, double digits. Double digits. That's pretty good, honestly. I know it sounds like I'm being facetious or like shit-talking them, but I'm not. I mean, there's a lot of units in this game. So. Yeah. All right, Mason blocking it again. Milky wants that again. Let's see.
All right. Well, you know, people say it like it's already happened. There's still time. There's still time for him to get to tier 3 and make the, claymores here.
Yes,
I believe.
That's right. Yeah, technically he could make all 52 units in this game. This could be our banger.
Yeah. It's a sick game.
All right, third base on the way, but it's the natural because Mixu was denied in his natural location.
What's the rarest Terran unit?
It's probably like the Hippogriff.
Hippogriff, yeah.
Phobos is made more often than you'd think because people look at it and think, oh my god, big ship.
I made it in a tournament game.
Yeah. But Hippogriffs, I think, are probably technically the rarest.
I think you're right.
When people get to Nanite Assembly, they do make the other basic units, Centaur, Minotaur, Magnetar, but...
by that point, you don't want to invest even more time getting the add-on. You're like, just let me fucking win the game.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Give me the bigger units.
Nobody makes Hypnagogue. It's true, but technically it's more accessible. So I feel like that alone makes it less rare. Like it's
Hypnagogue and 7-Step are both neglected.
Yeah, 7-Step is pretty good. Honestly, it's like a very good unit if you can do a little bit of micro.
It's not bad. It's not bad, but like distribute the same resources to like Dilettante 7-Step. It seems
true.
Seems pretty good. Not 7-Step, sorry, Silver Tongue.
Yeah. The Dilettante's pretty good now, too. It got a passive that makes it just every third attack against it misses, so that's pretty cool.
I love Dilettantes, man. I wish they were, usable in the tech tree. They're so good.
It's a skill issue. Or FFA, not playing FFA
well, if
issue.
I was playing Terran, I'd show you these Terrans how to do it.
That's right. I'd show them the 12-minute Dilettante rush.
Yeah.
If you think about what the unit offers, it would be absolutely outrageous if you could get it in the first 15 minutes of the game. It would kind of out-trade so many units.
Against Zerg in particular, I think it would be so strong. Oh, he's going to see the drop.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, did he clock it, though? He didn't move his camera over. Oh, it was a little late, I guess. He should be aware, though. However, he doesn't have anything protecting his main base. Drops have been his enemy, his nemesis. It's weird because if this was like a best of 3, it would look pretty good for Milky. Best of 5, okay, well, all right. The fact that we've played all 9 games has been a little bit of a condemnation against him. He's definitely on the struggle bus. But he's got the Maverick. It's doing some economic damage.
It's his drop. You know, he doesn't need these fancy flyers.
That's right. Now the Hydras are canvassing the area. Looks like it will be a drop of 2 Hydras, 1 Iziracore. We'll see how quick the reaction is. He's got a couple of Mavs here, and he does indeed return around. Pretty quick pull on the Masons. It shuts down the mining for a bit, and we have a star pad! Alert!
Oh,
we have a star pad! Production structure other than Stockade sighted in Game 9.
I hope it makes the Antseals. If he knows how to use them, then the Antseal stack would be pretty hard to deal with the way Mixu's been playing. Okay, there's the Lakizalus out. Maybe he's going to make Antseals, because maybe he just quickly looked up what to text or ask someone. I don't know if he has any insider in Cosmonarchy.
Yeah, if he does, it's not in our channel. Like, there is a Russian-speaking channel that we have, but he hasn't been posting there. And it's a Covenant!
Okay.
Well, hold on. Wait. Pause.
Can NEBLIME say hi to me?
Well, he's just sick of being dropped. He's sick of being dropped. Get that shit out of here. He's going to blow it out of the sky.
Valkyrie time. And also, God, we donated asking if NEBLIME can say hi to him.
Hi, Godwin. Why'd you say it like that?
Well, the donator said the auto reader read it out loud, letter by letter, instead of your name.
You know, what do people normally say? What do celebrities say when they want people to say hi? Happy birthday. You know, that's usually what people get celebrities to say, right?
Yeah, big fan of my work. Thanks for being a fan of my work. Big fan of my fans. That's what you'd say. Oh, Anseal is on the way.
I hope to show good games to the fans in Weekend Wage.
It says happy birthday to
you. Valkyrie is OP. Happy birthday to your daughter. Happy birthday to little Shelly. God, we hope that's randomly the name of your daughter. You'd be impressed, wouldn't you? Bet you would.
Well, we do have a smorgasbord of Zerg units on display here. Hydra, Iziricor, Zoryus, Lakes. It's beautiful. But we also have that, taking the natural as the third, saturating up pretty nicely. And we are going to see some Eidolons. It's pretty gas intensive. Milky's already got some Savants. He's got Anseals out. This is the game. This is Milky's game. Yes. Here's how Milky can win. But he is up against Ultra Core Gorgor. So.
Ultra Core against Eidolons? Oh, man. What's the damage of an Eidolon? 10, is it?
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I feel like it's overall...
It's okay to get for Ultra Cores, but like the DPS is not good enough.
15.
Oh, 15. Never mind. I was way off.
0 armor pen, so it is still being reduced by 4.
So it's about 10 in the end.
Yeah. It's 11 or whatever. So maybe it's 12. I think technically they have the same armor as the Zoryus. So yeah, it's 12, by the way, each shot.
Seems too aggressive. Charges in. Yeah, there's detection this time. The Savants especially will just devastate anything. Does he know how Savants work? I see him making the noises. He's pressing the buttons. Yeah. Hope he knows in the engagement how to do it.
He's deploying it. He's checking it out. Yeah, he did try it out a few times now. He knows that there's fast-moving penetrative shot, and then there's no-moving charge-up shot. That's if he bothered to read or parse it, understand it. It's sometimes difficult. Only one Gorg right now.
That deployed Savants actually wreck Ultra Cores actually. So yes, as long as he does deploy. Moving out here, he's got that third ministry. I'm liking this army comp a lot more. It's a lot harder for Zoe to engage. Now, I do not think he wants to come across the map here. I think that would be a big mistake. Anytime you go for Covenant, I really think you're just kind of trying to build up the big army, get the unit count, Big Qs as well. Ooh.
Well, as Anseal's canvassed the map, tried to figure out what's going on. I don't think he got a good look at the army comp of his opponent yet, nor would he necessarily know what any of that means. But there's some big scary blades on some of these guys, so he can expect, splash damage, tankiness, that kind of thing. Avaleth is indeed kind of barring the way. A sieve is being built. He's going to go ahead and take care of that.
Fine from a naked ridge. Like it offends his religion or something. Like he just can't do it.
He's just trying to make sure he's got 2 geysers.
About the Gorgs, I don't feel like Gorgs do anything to this army anyway. They just get gunned down. So the only real danger of those is if they start harassing and, he doesn't respect that threat. No watchdogs as far as I know. Here we go. Here comes the attack. Now, if milkicow is positioned properly, I think his army is fine to take this on. He does need to be deployed, though. That is probably going to be essential. What else is coming out here? Not as many Covenant units as you might expect. He sees it coming. The Eidolons are going to make this hard to engage. They're quite punishing if you get nearby. Look at that. Already doing some good damage. Needs to pull back. Okay, gets the arc.
Okay, he's deployed.
Okay, where's the Anseals? Get back on top of the units.
Oh no, they're gonna burrow. Oh my god, they just absolutely annihilated that stack of bio. And there's 3 of them left. There's almost no Savants, and that is it. His best attempt with the composition, and he's crushed in below 10 minutes. Mixu leaves no survivors.
Dude, EUD versus hamster flashbacks, like running into killers and then like big explosions of blood, like my god.
Oh man, absolutely outrageous there. I have to give it to, Milky. He didn't, there was never any like visible frustration or anything. He wasn't like, nothing like that.
I love he's innovating in the last game as well. That looked way more interesting, He's definitely showing some different potential there. It's a shame he wasn't able to pull it out. Actually, I hope he's not discouraged by going with different stuff and he gets dramatically killed. Because I think Mixu was kind of under a bit of pressure there that if he didn't do something, he was going to look in a pretty tough position. So I like the Covenant stuff. I wish he'd make a Fulcrum someday. Phalanx has shut down pretty much everything that Mixu was doing in every game, so I wouldn't mind seeing those.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a tough pill to swallow when you drop so many games, especially after the start of it looked pretty promising and there was a few options for him to maybe come back. But that will wrap it up for the show match in terms of the games. And it looks like we have Mixu is down to talk for a little bit to give his sort of idea, give a little bit of information for us. But he was the winner, and we'll extend an opportunity to the loser as well, milkicow, if he wants to come on. But I will first tell Mixu to pop into the casting waiting room. Or any other voice channel, and I'll. Oh,
He's in Cosmic Corner right now.
Yeah. That's perfect.
It's deafened though.
He is indeed deaf.
If you're admin, you should be able to undeafen people just to make them suffer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to hear from the winner of the lion's share of these matches. It is Mixu, and we'll get his player card on the screen to have some eye candy. How you doing, Mixu?
Yo, I mean, obviously it's fun to win. And, yeah, playing against Terran feels a lot more familiar than when I was playing against Indies Protoss. That's for sure. I also kind of figured that the Bactalisk, I retired that unit almost immediately against Protoss, but with the way Milky was playing, I realized it's just a better version of the unit he has. Or he was spamming the long range one.
The Cyprian, yeah, the Terran bio unit that does the little penetrative shot. So the question then is, what was so familiar? You said it was more familiar than fighting Protoss. What was familiar about it compared to your StarCraft 2 time?
Because you just, when they steam, you run for a little bit and then you come back. Although I did look up the Shaman. Apparently just a crazy healing truck. And
yep,
that kind of negates the stim issue for him, like the cost of stim.
Right.
So, yeah, those were a bit scary, but I figured I should just target them if he walks forward with them. I don't know if he realized he can deploy them.
Yeah.
He did deploy them a few times.
Okay,
it does.
One of them ran forward in that fight.
Yes, it did. Yeah. One of the things that I think is really interesting about the way that this show match went, the series of matches was pretty chaotic from the start, but you were a pretty quick plier of the drop trade. I noticed that you really enjoyed that. It took a while, all the way until the last game, for him to build a production structure other than the stockade. He went for the star pad, so he finally could use air. Everything else was pure bio. There was never any mech, never any air until that last game. And so we were all excited. We were like, oh, he's also building a different add-on. He's unlocking new tech. We'll get to that last game, as one of the parting questions here. But all the way back in, I think it was game 2 when you were first dropping, how you came to the conclusion that dropping would be good, and it was damn good. It really slowed him down. Did you feel like that was your sort of ticket to success here? Because it seemed like it was very successful.
After I played that indie match, I looked into some VODs a little bit because I also wanted to play the weekly. And I was looking at some VODs and someone did that. I don't know if it's like a meta mainstay strategy to do that off of one base or like while they're expanding. But I remember in a Stormgate beta, the open beta they had before they even had the third faction, Infernals had a strategy where they would just have a 4-minute dropship and it felt so busted. Even if it wasn't like just outright winning the game, it was creating so much pressure and just being annoying. Like, especially in a environment where everything is not figured out, it's just busted because I'm constantly in, like, even the Overlord, it has enough vision so I can tell when he moves his units away. So right. I'm constantly just like right there. So he has to overreact because he's not gonna play perfectly the first few times he's playing the game.
Of course, yeah.
And it is really obnoxious to deal with. And I just thought that it's kind of cheap to go for it. It doesn't require much tech, like any tech.
Yes.
And you basically trade like a drone and maybe 2 Hydras for it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And he basically won the games outright, like at least 5 times. So
Yeah, I noticed that one of the things he was very quick to do, which I appreciated about him, and I would definitely ask him if he was going to pop in here for a voice interview after. I was really curious about his Mason pulls. He pulled the workers a lot, right? Pulled the boys off the line. And he did that on the Sylphid round, and it actually looked like he was going to hold your aggression. But then you finally came back with a drop that, at that point, he had adapted his play and was building out all of this extra push. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to leave these Mavericks here. And then finally you were able to find a window, which is kind of more fuel for what you're saying, right? Is like, I'm just going to be here threatening, looming, and if I don't need all of that military in one concentrated spot to beat your army, then I can always use this to multi-prong, to do some just like little aggression at the edges of your attention and really throw you off. Now, there were a few things where they started to look a little bit closer than what initially appeared. You ended up selecting Demaloon as game 1, and you were able to take that one. Game 2, not the case. What do you reckon that was? Because that was Tsunami. That was, of course, the port of Oceanborn. And you end up, doing the same sort of drop maneuver, but it felt like he adapted really quickly. And then sort of after that, we never saw that same move again, where he pinched off part of his army to attack you, knowing that you didn't have much at home. Was there anything you decided to adapt to do? Because that was your last game with Pool as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Poolians just felt pretty bad into the Hellbat variation or whatever those were.
Right.
They just felt awful. By the way, Milky said that he could do voice.
Oh, nice.
Cool. For the next question, you can try at him.
Sure, when he's ready.
Yeah, so the Pool just kind of felt awful to play with, just harder to play with than the 75 mineral units.
Yeah, the Aziracore, the melee guys.
I recognize some of the names, but I can't just... So Easy Rockor.
Yes. Yeah.
So those ones were probably the MVP. But I was... So when I played against Protoss, especially, I was super confused when it came to the armor types, because it's not only the armor that you have to account for, but also the attacks. Where some units just, for some reason, attack 14 times a second or something crazy. And then armor gets multiplied so much that some units just don't interact with each other, and that's probably the most challenging part for me to like adapt stuff. But yeah, I saw someone playing with Daisy Rocker against Terran, and I was just going with that because it's so good against the workers, and it also can kite. It's also durable enough that if you look away for 2 seconds, you don't lose your army. It's just a really comfortable unit to use.
Right. So you can multitask a little bit easier with it. That does make some sense why you'd pivot. I thought it was like a targeted thing because you obviously ended up trying to meet him with a very fast Aziracore rush. After that was also the match where he almost held a Ministry first versus like basically a CC first, right? Expand first. Mm-hmm. Like that was an interesting game. That one I feel like was really close and could have gone either way had he been able to have a better answer to the drop. And then eventually you were able to take the drop and kind of flank him from the high ground of his own base, which is just brutal. Did it feel like that was your game when you switched into Hydroth, obviously, and you were doing those more durable units? Did that feel like, okay, this is it, this is right, this is how I'm going to do it?
Yeah, so it just felt like good enough to win every game, and at that point I'm experienced enough to not change something that works, because I added the lurkers eventually, but I was really surprised that the Marines, or Mavericks, could beat the Easy Rocker guys. Because they had 2 armor and they also did the triple bounce glaives, so it just didn't make sense to me why they were even close to winning a fight against. When in that game where I had the Bactalisk, Easy Rocker, just massive ball, but he only had Mavericks. I was really surprised that it maybe was close, but I guess the lurkers are then the actual hard counter to Mavericks.
Yeah, I guess I would say, I mean, Nebulon could probably speak to this a little bit, but one of the big interactions you were talking about with armor is armor rend, armor shred is a thing that Terran has. That's one of the status effects of when your unit is on fire from the Firebat equivalent, the Hurakan. Mm-hmm. It loses up to 3 armor over the course of a certain amount of time. And the debuff only expires when the unit stops taking damage. So you have to like kind of pull it away to disengage. With Zerg units, you're not going to be doing damage. As much.
So it's not only damage, but it's also like, not only the flamethrower, but also any kind of damage that keeps the status.
Yes, any damage will persist the effect. So if a Maverick shoots the Aziracore that's been tagged, then it will extend the duration for another. Like, it doesn't add to it; it just resets the timer.
All right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interactions going on like that, which of course are something that I never I never expect all the pros to learn very quickly per se, but there's a few things that like big concepts you can just kind of sort of sock away in a drawer somewhere and be like, okay, I know that this guy rends armor and that's going to make the Mavericks more efficient. However, he didn't have that many Hurricanes to actually apply the armor rend and the fire in that big fight on Sylphid. Before we get to that one, I do want to go to the big base race game. Tell me what you were thinking about that, because you messaged me after saying like, "Oh, I don't know, is it even structured?" Like you were doubting it for a second because you thought you killed everything, and then you saw he was doing the some people call it the Manor strat of floating away, but he had a real chance to win that game. What do you think?
No, it's just like he's a Terran player. He knows what to do in those situations. I play Zerg, so I don't really need to do that much, except like mutaling against Protoss, but. So I don't know. It was just like it felt like I was super far ahead. Then I don't know. I liked the way, and then in the middle of the map he caught some of my army, but I also caught some of his. So I had no idea what the game state was at that point anymore.
Right.
But I also lost a lot of drones for no reason. Like it was kind of sloppy, but eventually I just had more. I probably could have ended the game sooner as well, but I just had more. So that's kind of how those games go.
Yeah, that always makes sense. And also when you're like coming in, stepping in and still learning and stuff like that. I mean, you have played before, but you only played versus Protoss in like a competitive sense. Any other practice you got? Which actually I'm curious, did you end up getting any practice? Do you have any partners or whatever that you were practicing with offline, or was it all just like...
No, not really for this one. It was just watching VODs and kind of just picking the stuff that I like.
Right. Makes sense. Nebulime, you have any questions for Sir Mixu here?
I do. Do you intend to play more of Cosmonarchy? And might we see you in the tournament? There's a lot of money on the line that skillful players can acquire.
I saw I already got invited to one that's later this month. But
no. I mean the real tournament.
There's a big one with a couple grand. Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at those on Wikipedia. I mean, if it's maybe the weeklies felt kind of brutal, but maybe I'll easily do it eventually.
Yeah, you practice some more with people, see what other units you get. And I guess the other question I have for you, like, do you feel like you know a lot of other units you decided not to use, or did this sort of test the limits of your knowledge? Because I'm sure you're aware there are many more units than what you made today.
Yeah, so tier 2 is kind of a new frontier. I did play before Indies game, or Indies, maybe even after that, but I'm someone who really likes to like lab builds and stuff, like just look at it in any game. And I did go into a game and I made every single unit and I actually read half of them. But like I wouldn't be able to tell you what half of them do still. And it also feels like super expensive to tech in this game compared to other games.
Yes, it does take a lot to get to higher tiers. You really need more bases before you start doing that.
Yeah, there was one. There's like a tier 2 static D that amplifies your attacks. That one I did make.
It's only tier 1, by the way. That is tier 1.
Okay.
It's just a lot of S speed. Yeah.
It gives action as well, by the way, so it's
yeah, maybe I should have made it in this series as well then.
Well, to be fair, you didn't need the defense that badly most times. It definitely, if you have that there and you have a bunch of units, it's like, you can never attack, but you got away with it anyway.
It for sure helped me hold one attack against the India. I still remember. It was just
against Protoss. I don't know how he was playing, but if he's coming with the Zealots and Ecclesias, definitely it's a very key one to get.
Anyway, I don't really have too much more to add.
Sure.
If we're gonna get Milky on board, we don't want to keep him waiting too long.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was just about to say, wrapping it up here, you have won the lion's share, of course. Appreciate your participation. Thank you, Mixu. And also thanks for the voice interview after. I like to do that. Pick the brains of the pros, see what they're doing, see what they're thinking. And yeah, with any luck, like Nebulime said, we'll see you for some more action later on. Obviously, see you in 2 weeks, right? So GG's.
Yep. See you then. Thank you.
Peace.
Playing.
Alrighty, and we will see if Milky Cow is ready to chat us up here. It looks like he has popped into one of the other voice channels, so I can go ahead and pull him down. And we can switch over to his screen as well. Sir Milky is on the mic to chat us up with things. How are you feeling, my friend?
Hello. I feel frustrated currently.
Frustrated. It makes sense. I do want to dial all the way back at one point, but the opening question is: do you have any sense of like actually how close those games were? Because even though you didn't win a lot of them, they were really close. Especially that base race game, that was really close.
No. Base race wasn't really close. I feel like
no.
I think because I was playing one base initially, and he like went some drones on the second base. Like he had more than one base economy throughout this game. So yeah, I feel like I had more chances in all the other ones. And that one where I went one base, just because I went one base, I felt in an inferior position.
All right. Well, hey, that's fair enough. But one thing that you did really well in this series that I don't want to go unnoticed is you made a lot of workers, and you almost always had an economic advantage over your opponent.
Yes.
Even after, you might be on one base for some time, you still had, say, 10, 20 more workers at times. And that, I think, if it goes on for long enough, you can get to a point where you're just crushing it. And I think I want to highlight that Sylphid game. The 3-spawn map, you guys were on the bottom strip of it, and there were some drops that ended up getting through your defenses, but that was the game that I saw you really adapted to it. You had already done on Knife's Edge, you had already put the stockade in the back to watch for drops and stuff. You did that again here. Then you start talking about, you got all these Mavericks, you got the Shaman coming in, you made some adaptations. That game looked like you were really on a roll with the economy. You're spending your money down. How did you feel about that one?
Yeah, I thought I will like defend the attack, and yeah, that would be it. But it didn't really work out in the end. Even though I had like way more workers, I don't know how many more. Let me see. I actually have a screenshot probably of this game. I have a friend who is watching.
Oh, okay.
He's, like analyzing.
Right. I was wondering about that because you did make adaptations. I was figuring you must have had somebody in your ear kind of like saying, all right, hey, try this. Hey, what's up with that?
It was 40 workers against 25.
Right. So you had the ability. You did pull the Masons. You pulled the boys off the line.
And I also pulled the boys, and still wasn't enough. I think, that game I made shamans. So after that game, I thought I won't make shamans. I will have way quicker third base, way more mineral units, and I will probably defend. And that was the lurker game.
Yes.
And the lurkers just owned me, so I didn't know he can, like,
Right.
I know I need to make the observers units,
the detectors,
from the start, but the detectors. But I really didn't have that gas because I was so I was focused on the mineral economy. I was countering the spine, like the previous units that he made, little long range ones.
The Bactylus, the artillery.
Overall, I had the most chances in the games where I was pushing with, how do I call these guys? With long range guys.
Cyprian, yeah.
Cyprians. Yes, I just, these drops came at a very random time every time. So, every time I thought that, okay, this time it seems not like no drop. I remember just one game where I don't know what map that was, but yeah. So what happened all the time is that I would pull my how do I say it, additional units that I made, that were at home, and I had my initial push and the units from the rally point, basically.
Right.
Yes. And at the moment, my rally point units are on the center of the map. I see 2 blue dots on the minimap that go into my main.
So the drop,
at that point, and at that moment, I think I can probably kill him in the main, and I might have a lot of units, but that game he made actually 10 workers or something,
Even though he has a hatchery, he's still super low drone count. So it really, like, this didn't make too much sense for me. Yeah. That he, every time he went for a fast hatchery and super low drone count, so I was always sure he's gonna like play some more macro, and I would kill him. Yeah, but even though, like, I think the most chance I have with this Cyprian unit, because I'm in the face of the Zerg, you know, I'm in the face. I can see how many units does he make, because I think with Zerg the main problem is that they can make a lot of drones and like skip a lot of army, make a lot of drones. So how do you really, you know, control this? You know, how do you make sure he's not too greedy? That's the main problem for me. So I was kind of tilted in my head, because I know that he can be very greedy, you know. I was very tunnel visioned towards push him.
Yeah, aggression to try to stop him from just making workers for free, but it turns out he barely made any workers.
Yes.
Well, I will say that's another thing. I thought you scouted pretty well with your bio units. You know, you moved around to try to figure out where. That was an adaptation you made later on in the series, right? Trying to send a couple units here and there.
Yes, but in the end, I didn't know what to do with the. Oh well, in the last games, I saw in the very last game, I saw that he's making a lot of workers. But you know, I didn't really know what can I do with my marines. Like, I will move out. He will drop 3 dropper lords this time. I will suffer. Maybe I should have pushed. I don't know. It's tough. Then when we get to a sort of macro game, what units do I make? I really, my plan didn't go as far as that. So yeah.
Well, it's one of those things that makes you, you know, it's definitely something that comes with experience, comes with some more games played. I know that Mixu had a little bit of an advantage in that way since he did play a match before. But I still think that there were some really cool, really tight games. I thought that we were having a blast casting the base race one. And, you know, you've also got we do have you on the books for another show match in 2 weeks. You still down for that? You think you're going to channel that experience, come back stronger, beat up on young Yakov and whoever else joins?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, yeah, he plays Zerg though. Maybe I should play Zerg too, because, you know, it's kind of sick that you have, I don't know how expensive is the drops?
So they only fit 3 units in them from the Hydra units, or they fit 6 of the pool units. But they are, I believe it's 50 gas. Let me double check on that. It might actually be
cheaper. You can morph 75, 50, I'm pretty sure.
You can morph a regular Overlord into this thing.
No, it is the regular Overlord.
Just make it and it does everything from
you don't have supplies, so there's no need to make the Overlord normal.
Really, yes. There is no Overlords in this game.
Yeah, you don't start with them, right? Yeah, yes, it's 100 minerals and 25 gas, so it's pretty pricey on the mineral side.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just crazy that the Zerg has a drop. Well, maybe I also have one.
You have this, you have it from the star pad, but it does. It's a little bit more investment. It goes really nicely with bio, but it does make your overall army size weaker, right? So you got to see what you can do on the edges there. And if he goes for really low drone count, and then you have to deal with a big army, you know, if you hold, you're great, and your drop on the other side might kill him because he's got no eco. But if you don't hold, it's rough. So it can be difficult. Yeah, I saw that you were playing a little bit with Yakov and someone named Nur. I don't know that person. Is that another one of your homies?
This is the guy who looked at the games.
Oh, okay. Shout out Nur. Shout out Nur one time.
I'm not sure if he's watching them. I'll tell him.
Yeah. All good. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought that you guys made a lot of units. You guys had bloody fights. It was great fodder for screenshots and stuff. We could put it on the box art or whatever. But Overall, what are your, I know you're saying Zerg seems like they got a lot of advantages. They got lots of things going for them. What are your impressions overall? How do you feel about Cosmonarchy, having played this?
I mean, one thing is that there are a lot of units who look very similar, and it's very, very unclear what's the difference between them sometimes. You know, like in the original StarCraft, there is a completely different approach, that you have units that really don't overlap in their roles, you know.
Oh, right. There's less overall bio, less overall units, right?
Yes. And in this game, there is just so much information that you really, need to learn first to figure out what's good, what's bad, and you have to play a lot of games. So it's not very, clear to me for now.
Still undecided. Still gotta.
Overall, I think it's cool.
Well, thank you.
I think it has potential. Like, what I thought it's gonna be like is that it's gonna be mass macro. This game has very quick macro, like workers produced very fast, and so but in the end, from all the games that I watched, all the games seem to be like our games with Mixu, very cheesy. I from the games that I watched, I really haven't seen much tier 2 gameplay even from like top players. All the games seem to end very quick, and I thought that it's the opposite of what I thought this game can be good at. Also considering that it has such a huge tech tree, and you could see so many, and also how the macro works. I thought that when you press one button, all the Raxes start producing.
Right.
I think for the small situations, like small games that we played, it's actually bad, because
right,
you want to really precisely spend your money, and with this you click the button, you don't know what you started, basically what units are you making. And there is also, like in StarCraft 2, you can see how stacked are your production buildings, basically. In this game,
how many,
yeah, I think that would be very good for this game, because you're not very in control of what you're producing. So yeah, I think it has potential to be this big game with a lot of this mechanic of producing from all the buildings with one click is like very suitable for big macro games, right? And you could like constantly change, like Age of Empires, basically. You can make this game into Age of Empires in the sense of constantly changing army compositions.
Yeah, there's always a little bit something different, right? There can be. I will say you're right. You're right to point out a lot of the like our pros, if you will, the top players in our space. They do like to play real fast and loose. Like Neblim's over here practicing up his DT rush, his Kabbalist rush, right? Isn't that right, Neblim?
Just slapping people around. EUD started it, so.
Okay.
I just, you can. It's not about what people like. It's about how the game seems to work.
Well, in times past, when I played Zerg anyway, I would pretty much, my game plan was always Total and 2 base and rush for tier 2, pretty much every single game. Even when I played Terran, I did that a lot. And I managed to win. I guess at the time the competition wasn't as difficult, but I managed to win the 2 tournaments playing that way. So I think you can win any way you like. You just have to get good at it and make it work for you.
Yeah, maybe.
And watch me play Protoss. I mean, even less than other Protosses, I would say. Usually I'm teching up, and Protoss is very different, I will grant you, but I get to the end of the tech tree like fairly often as Protoss.
That's true, yeah. Protoss techs up super fast comparatively, but you are able to start deploying those endgame things around like 15 minutes or so. All right, well, Milky, that was it was cool to hear your thoughts about the game, and you see some potential in it. I appreciate that. I really thank you for joining us, Privyet, for that, and for sharing your thoughts. Neblime, do you have any final words or questions for the man?
Are you going to come back for another show match or the tournament?
Yeah, I'm going to play the next one that I'm invited to.
Very good, very good.
Yeah. And in the tournament, which one? I know there are some weekly tournaments.
Yeah, there's some weeklies,
but it's
and there's
away.
Yeah, there's a big one where they have qualifiers where pros and our top players are invited to, and it's like kind of an exclusive club. However, if you play in that one or in the weeklies, there's a high chance you have to play against the 4th race we added last month. So.
Oh shit!
It's not enough that there's 50 units per race.
Like offer you the option to play as that, by the way? No.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I probably don't have time to learn another game.
Fair enough. Just come in to collect the money. You know what I mean? Just grab some of that cash.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. It was fun to figure out new stuff and play also.
Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts. We will see you in 2 weeks then.
Okay. See ya.
GG's.
Bye.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the conclusion, the final moments of this Showmatch broadcast. We thank you very much for joining us, and I thank you, Neblime, for joining me on the cast. It certainly made things just a little bit more bearable on the, my throat, my voice, all that stuff. So I do appreciate that, but also my attention. While you're talking about something and I am paying attention to it, I can also update overlays and stuff. It's crazy how good that is. It's wonderful how much of a difference that makes. The conclusion, as Beaver points out.
Just doing everything, aren't I? Well, where would you be without me?
Exactly. I would definitely. I did appreciate that. Like, I'm over here, like, asking players, like, what do they think and what's going on. But you're getting to the heart of the matter. You're like, are you coming back? We need more.
I have a vested interest here.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mention it, but you mentioned the gauntlet, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. I might be up against this kind of player. Shit. So here we go.
Yeah, you want to know if do you have to worry about them
right.
in the future? Yeah, that's
right. So I'm really just scouting here. I'm not even helping you out. I'm just like, all right, let me see what's going on.
Yeah, what do I have to deal with in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, there's some pretty cool stuff that we saw. I think that base race game is an instant hit. Honestly, that should go up as a dedicated VOD at some point. But that was a good one. That was a banger. I thank you for casting with me, sir. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this whole show match shindig goes, because as I mentioned, especially with all the money we raised today, the next show match it's going to be pretty intense. It's going to have 2 in one day and then 1 on the Sunday following that. There'll be the 24th and the 25th. The Liquipedia page is already in progress, already sort of enumerated. And it is going to be a pretty epic time where Young Yakov and as of yet unnamed Protoss and milkicow are going to be playing in the first match on day 1. Day 1 match 2 will be Hanmano DeWalt Ziki. And day 2's match will be Spirit, Gerald, and Mixu. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll see 2 of the homies that played today, the 2 guys that duked it out today, will be seen again. And I think that pretty much wraps us up. Neblime, do you have any final words?
The sun is up, so I have to go close all the doors and windows. I have to survive this day somehow, so I better go.
All right. Well, Godspeed, GG's, and thanks again for joining us. Thanks to all the viewers and the donors who made this possible and made future show matches possible. We will be back.